firing at the gate there, huh? That's just, now I know how to lure you in and just put Teenage Exocolonist up. Don't mind any minor grunts. I damaged my wrist last night somehow, so owies. But the painkiller should kick in. Hope you're having a good, what day is it? Sunday? Hope you're having a good weekend. Oh, for the amount of times I've done that, you'd think I'd actually remember what time of the week to check the time of the week before I start, but here we stand. Okay, I think putting the wrist strap on actually made that hurt worse. Never mind, it's off. Oofy. What am I doing? Ah! Teenage Exocolonist, yes. Excuse me if I'm a little out of it. The wrist pain is not actually fun. On top of the sunburn. I'm gonna have to fix how I sleep, I think. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab a hot water bottle because I think that will help. And I have the distinct suspicion that fiddling around with all the parts right before stream might have made it worse. So, excuse me for showing up and then vanishing again. I'll be right back. Okay. I have secured the hot water bottle. Hopefully this one, it's new, so hopefully it's not poorly made. Or I'm in trouble because there's too many electronics here for there to be a safe way to place that. And I definitely did not get coffee on my brand new €400 carpet. God, I hope Matt doesn't watch this one. Okay. Oh, that's so much better, actually, even just with the heat. It wouldn't be so bad, but it's my right hand, and I'm right-handed. So, I can't exactly not use it for the day. I may swing by... This happens enough that I may swing by the chemist and see if I can pick up one of the braces. Still, I can rest my wrist on the hot water bottle and still use the mouse, so it's all good. I forgot about my babies. Yes. My babies. Our babies, I suppose. Team effort. Oh my god. Okay. Don't mind the grumbling about the wrist. It's just gonna be on and off. Grumbling about it makes me feel better. What in the Sam Hill were we doing? Okay, Deese is still being dragged ass backwards into being our friend. That's what you get for being cranky. I should probably see if we can be nice to some other people. Oh. Do I have anything for you? I do. Here, you're smart. She actually liked it. I'm not going to flirt with her. I hope you find it useful. Oh, she actually knows how to say thank you. I need a break soon. Yeah, well, what season is it? Fuck, it's dust. It's dust, glow, quiet, and grow, I think? I don't think there's a way to check the names of them. But I'm pretty sure the next season is glow, so we need to be careful. But we can do the rest of dust. We'll go out. Let me see. I'm sure there was something I needed to remember that I don't. Okay, nobody has any specific. We'll relax this season and then we'll go out for the last season of Dust. Who are we hanging out with? Oof. You know what? We don't get along enough with Tangent. I think we should hang out with Tangent. No. Let's double down on our stats as they are. Remember when I started and we were going to do like the creativity and persuasion stats? Now we're almost maxed perception and animals. Let's hang out with Cal. Cal is practicing hoverboard moves in a corner of the lounge. Because the board never touches the ground, the adults can't really complain, and this way he has pillows to land in. He's working hard, trying and failing, flip after flip, but hasn't even broken a sweat. He waves you over. "Hey, Solana," he says cheerfully. "Do you want to practice with me?" You practice with Cal for about an hour. It's exhausting. By the end, you're sweaty and a little sore, but you feel good. You promise him you'll come back all this month and keep him company. Sure, let's forget the trauma of watching him. Was the eye beast the thing that killed somebody in front of me, or was that something else? No, that was the manticore, wasn't it? Uh-oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's see, any new speech bubbles? Anemone's being very sporty. Has anybody even moved? Maybe it's just because it's dust. Like, there's nowhere really for anybody to go. However, we do have a shiny rock, and I think Tangent might like a shiny rock. Never mind. Too soon. Would Mars like a shiny rock? Maybe she... Oh, we have another flower. Oh. Never mind. She has disapproved. Oh, but she does want to speak to us. Mars is watching a vid from Earth on her holopalm. She gestures you over, and you sync your holopalm to hers. The audio track comes through your hearspeak. Mars knows every word. Beside you, she recites the dialogue perfectly along with the actors. Since the day we met, I devoted my life to finding you. I searched every train station, every coffee shop, every museum and park for you, she says. My every waking thought was only of you. Her voice goes higher. And I dreamed of you, she says. Every night my heart called to yours in the dark. I never hoped to dream I would find you again. I'm here now, she says, playing the first part again. I'm here, and I'm never leaving your side again. Mars drags her hand down her face as the couple in the vid kiss passionately. Ugh, she exclaims. I've seen this vid 100 times, and the end always makes me want to yards. They met on a train once and spend forever looking for each other. Like, move on, you know? It's not like living here where there's only like 100 people to pick from. You're in a huge city. Go find anyone else. Why do you keep watching it? Mars sighs, exasperated. I've already seen everything else worth watching. Before you can protest, she puts up a hand. Okay, fine. I do like the city parts. Like, isn't it post-real to imagine cities so big you could get lost in them? So many people that you could meet someone and then never see them again in your lifetime? Mars waves away the vid screen. Sometimes I think I should have been born back on Earth and not on this dumb spaceship. She mock punches the hull of the ship behind her. All those cities and people, and the stuff you could do, watching new vids, going to concerts. The only culture here is grown in a lab. Mars sighs dreamily. And the shopping. They have so much stuff on Earth. Anything you could dream. Not just the rubbish old nanoprinters can make. I'm so bored of everything I own, Mars complains. Speaking of shopping, do you want to trade some kudos for one of my old jackets? My dad says I can't print any more stuff until I get rid of something. I'd say 50 kudos sounds fair. I mean, sure, why not? We'll let Mars bleed us for a jacket. Oh, that's a nice jacket. Never mind. Mars takes off her jacket and watches critically as you try it on. Well, it matches your hair, she says, but it kind of puckers at the shoulders. It was really tailor-printed to fit me. She almost looks like she's going to take it back for a second before putting her hands up in surrender. No, I admit, it looks good on you. Makes you look posh. I don't think I've ever had someone call me posh as a compliment before. They've definitely called me posh before, but it was not a compliment. Are we gonna just... Oh, we can't just wander off. We have to actually sign up for something. Ugh, imagine making us do work. Do we want to explore nearby? Or... Ooh, events, and they respawn in the quiet. There's a boss event remaining. Hold on. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna go survey the plains. See if we can't find the boss event. Because that sounds fun. And definitely not like I'm gonna get mauled to death by something horrible. Anyway, now that I've acquired heat sources, how is everybody doing? How's your weekend? Now that I'm actually physically present. And the painkillers are kicking in. Ooh. Actually a little too hot now. Good. Definitely not a radish. Oh. Aww. It's like a little bush. You almost bump into Deeth. He is being so still and quiet, hunched over and looking down a little knoll. He shushes you and points. Don't scare them. You follow his finger and see what looks like a bush shaking violently. Two bushes, actually, at opposite ends of a clearing. Oh, they're bush bubs. From far away, they really do just look like plants and rocks. They're fighting over territory, Deeth says. How do you know that? Deeth shrugs. If you're quiet, you see them a lot. You watch the two creatures face off, rhythmic rhythmically rustling the leaves that grow out of their heads and backs. Their gangly, branch-like antennae swing over their heads as they rear up to their full heights. Even from far away they look imposing, like agile boulders. One goes, then the other. They watch each other carefully, alternating and repeating the other's motions, trying to outdo each other. Ultimately, the smaller, more graceful one seems to be declared the winner. The loser plops back down and shuffles away into the jungle, defeated. Okay, that was pretty neat. Those things are so cute. The creature designs in this are fantastic, and the color palette just fucking slaps. Ooh, events. You stop to admire the light glinting off the water of a shallow circular lake when you notice some strange rocks near your feet. They're pink and red, bobbing in the shallow water at the shore. The rocks are flashing yellow. This one, then that one, then a pause, then that one, then the first one again. You thought it was reflecting sunlight at first, but no, the rocks themselves are glowing. Repeat the pattern. You play a memory game with them, touching the stones in the pattern they give you. You feel emotions coming from the rocks. Affection, interest, gratefulness. Somehow you understand. They like the contact. Are they creatures or rocks? Sometimes the lines between the two can be blurry on Vertumna. They can't move, but learn about the world from creatures who pass by and touch them. Like the way animals rub to leave their scent, these rocks entice animals to play with them and leave information about the world. You get the sense they're excited for your new scent. To what end, you don't know. That was neat. Ooh. Equip an additional gear. I have... What? I have gear? Oh, I do have gear. Oh, I totally forgot about these. Oh, my god. I forgot about this for so long. Shit. That would have been so useful to have remembered. It's a cloudy day. You hear the crash of thunder from somewhere nearby. Loud. Sounds like it's getting closer. Suddenly, a massive, impossibly tall something punctures the low clouds and slams into the ground ahead of you. It's as tall as a skyscraper and a meter wide, covered with chitinous bone like an insect. You think it might be a leg? Another crashes down, then another. The creature's body must be up in the clouds, so high you can't see anything but the legs. The first leg lifts again and moves toward you. You're in shock, your body simultaneously screaming at you to stand still and run. Oh, we have the stats to do this? Okay, we're going to stay calm and analyze its movement and try not to get stepped on. You watch the clouds, and as the next leg breaks through, you dodge it. It slams down where you'd been with enough force to crush a boulder to dust. This creature is so unbelievably massive, you're like an ant to it. As it passes overhead, you marvel at how such a thing could even exist, and hope it never wanders any closer to your colony. Ah, more medicines. I can't remember if Tang gives two hoots about medicinal roots, because she works in the lab, right? It would make sense if she did. More bush bubs. Hi. Something big suddenly bursts out from the jungle and scampers across the path in front of you. It looks like a miniature landslide, bush-covered stone being pulled forward by powerful arms. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but that rock bush has boobs, doesn't it? Cool. It's a bush bub, and hot on its heels is a second, smaller one. These slow, thoughtful creatures are rarely so full of energy. They charge back and forth across the path as you wisely keep your distance from the powerful animals. But for all the crashing and stomping they're doing, they don't actually seem to be angry. You'd swear they were actually being playful. Well, we can get closer to watch. These things are neat. They seem to be playing a game of tag. Whenever the chaser catches up to the runner, they reverse roles. They do it with such gusto that the surrounding underbrush is completely crushed in a wide circle, an almost perfect circle. Then, all at once, the first one crouches down on the path and tucks its arms and head under the bushes on its back. You'd swear it was just a rock now. The second one circles the first several times, sniffing, then crouches in the same position. Now might be your chance to get past them. No. I want to keep watching. I want to see what they're up to. In perfect sync, the two creatures slowly stretch out and up, revealing their rocky bodies and reaching their surprisingly long necks up to the sky. They begin to shake their bushes and rattle their antlers in rhythm, with each other as they stomp slowly around the clearing that they've made. You think they're dancing. The intensity of the dance increases. They're shaking their backs so hard that some of their branches and fruit are flying loose. Instinctively, you reach out to grab a piece of fruit. At that moment, the dancers shift and, youch! One of them steps on your hand with the full force of its massive body. You let out a cry of pain and clutch your hand to your chest. Oh, that looks bad. The two creatures have been so intent on each other that they hadn't noticed you there. They're so startled and perhaps embarrassed that they take off running in opposite directions. Well, that was weird. Hey, Para, how you doing? We got stepped on by a bush rock. Ooh. I don't think we've got enough stress to get. The terrain here is strange. Some kind of smooth rock covered in lichens and tiny plants. It's weirdly warm and the spark snow melts when it hits it. I might as well go over it. We have the perception for this. We should do. Value is wild locked. Wildcard values match as all pairs are straights. Oh, okay. We need to get 48 hoofies. 22. We pull that one out and do that one. That's 21 because of the lock last. It's 20. What if we do one? No, that's worse. 22. There we go. 6, 6, 5. Hold on. 3. There we go. Get our super goal up. How did I lose money doing that? Oh, I must use Mars's card. After cautiously walking around on it for a few minutes and observing quietly, you realize the ground is alive. It's rumbling very slightly. What you thought was just a rock slowly opens. It's an eye. It stares at you dreamily, and you stare back, fascinated. This must be a very ancient creature. It's so vast, it's completely merged into the surroundings. There are even trees growing out of it. A little animal, like a moth with huge webbed feet, lands between you and the massive eye and starts preening. The eye dilates to focus on the moth. Then it slowly closes again in what you think might be contentment. After a moment, you feel a faint rumble under your feet. Regular breathing in and out. Snoring. You creep off the creature, careful not to wake it again. Oh, you're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. They're not going to let us out in the glow. I think I'm also... Are we only in... Oh, it's the wet now. The glow is the... Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I can work with that. Am I ready for Xing Yang pills on Monday? Absolutely not. I have no money. I spent 189 euros on clothing. I spent 189 euros on clothing, about 40 or 50 euros on plants, and I still didn't get the pots I needed for the cacti that needs to be repotted because she has been firing children out all year. And then the week before that, I paid for plane tickets. They're so fucking expensive. It's only an hour. Why are they so expensive? You 40 rolls saved? Nah, nice to be some. I have my 50-50 guaranteed because I got your part again, but I don't think I have maybe like 3 rolls worth of jade left because I've just been fishing. So I just kind of have to hope he plays nice and comes home soon. Is it really Monday? What? What the? Oh my. It's not Monday, is it? He comes out on the 17th, I thought. So he'd be out on Wednesday. Right? 14, 15, 16. No, wait, that's Thursday. 15, 16, 17. No, hold on. It is Wednesday. Oh, I'm so lost. Thought he'd be out on reset. I am pretty sure I've seen people say he'd be out on the 17th. It might just be because it's the first banner. So they might just be doing it on specific timings. Because yeah, you're right. The banner changes are usually on reset, but reset's usually on a Tuesday, just to make life confusing for everybody. Ooh, are you looking forward to Prometheus for Honkers Impact? But yeah, even with my attempts to pretend I'm going to be financially responsible, I'm going to go on Hinge for him. You haven't played Honkers in a bit, yeah. I'm only really doing my dailies, but at least I do them, you know. Log in, get my crystals, feed Susanna's weapon, leave. Good to take a break from Honkers now and then and let the game get ahead. Yeah, I think you really do. Like, a lot of the games that are constantly updating, it's like, oh my god, please stop. I need 5 minutes to breathe. You just kind of just gotta force yourself to take a break if it works. Dees is skipping stones across a flat stretch of rock. Talked to my sister today. He says, skip, 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 skip. She's doing some kind of super secret extra credit project in engineering. She wanted to gloat, I guess. He tosses a rock into the air and catches it. Whatever. She just likes it when people pay attention to her. Alright, cool. Have a rock. Thank you, he says, clearly unsure about how to react. I'll, find something to do with it. Get rocked. You've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and 40 hours of Zelda. Didn't that come out yesterday? No, it came out on Friday, didn't it? Have you done Zelda? Oh, well, I'm not counting Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I forgot about it. Ah, yeah, we want to see if Tang is... Yes. You like medicinal roots, right? I think she does. She's cranky about it, but she likes them. You haven't touched the main story once. Zelda Ring. Yeah, I won't lie. I was watching, who was it? RT Game do a bit of it earlier, and I was tempted. You relax on the walls again this month. Compared to the hustle and bustle of the colony down below, it's pretty boring up here. You read a bunch of hollow novels and brag on social media about it. How do we have social media on a planet of about 100? Who's running that? It's an incredible game, constantly amazed by everything you found in it. Yeah. Ooh, my wrist. I think part of what puts me off is it's another massive open world game that's going to take, and because I'm obsessed with doing all of the pieces for all of the playthroughs, it would take me probably 100 hours or something. And it's like, I'm running out of hours. It's a shame, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kind of miss linear games. Where have they gone? Come back. Linear games or roguelites? Roguelites are pretty good for it. Right, we're gonna swing back outside, see if we can't find that boss fight. I think it's this one, yeah. 3 events, 2 collectibles, the boss event. Perfect. I might like the blasphemous. Oh, blasphemous is in the game. I've been playing too much Elden Ring. I was thinking the blade. Prosaic Plains. I can take a look at it. Will you do me a favor? Will you DM me the name of it so that I remember to go look for it? Because I do not have an attention span anymore. Burned it out of me with caffeine. Kind of like Hollow Knight if it was set in Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Gothic world. Isn't Hollow Knight pretty Gothic already? Or does Hollow Knight still have that fine thread of hope that Elden Ring is like flirting with destroying? More fucking roots. Aha, event. There's not much to find out here, but the peaceful atmosphere is great for contemplation. You find a particularly beautiful little plateau where you can see the plains spread out before you like a picnic blanket, round lakes dotting the land like glimmering mirrors of sky. I love the fucking wordplay they do in this game. The descriptions are amazing. Dees is scouting further ahead. He was eager to find some adventure. We can catch up with him. No, I'm gonna stop and meditate. Hollow Knight has hope. Blasphemous has misery and death. Yeah. How English. You focus on the sounds around you, on your breathing, on the feeling of your butt on the rock, and the slightly cool breeze on your face. It's very peaceful. You can feel yourself relax as you become one with the planet. A stress clearer when we didn't have any stress. A series of small circular pools chain together to form an impassable body of water. You don't see an obvious route though the path does continue off in the distance on the other side. Look for a place to cross. We have thus far been allergic to backing up and leaving, so therein we stand. +1 to red cards. 2, 3, 6. Could be better, could be worse. Two, 4, 6. Whatever. 1, 2, 2, 5. Do we want the? What's better, 4 4s or 2 5s? 4 4s. Sure. +5 kudos if total equals goal. Nice. The kudos are fine. We've been poor the entire game. It doesn't matter. That's not the route we're taking this time. There's a narrow place where 2 pools meet that you think you can leap over. These little ponds look too small to house anything really dangerous. You hope. Don't fall for that one. Because that's how you get snagged. But what are they called? Like an undercurrent? Like there's a few rivers. I think there's one in England that has... It looks super calm on the top, but if you, like, under the water, it's incredibly fast, and people keep accidentally stepping in it because they think it's fine and, like, risking their necks. You approach the water's edge. Leap of faith. You make it over the narrow gap. Nice! You feel empowered. Seal, honey, that 16k crit is too much. Do it again. Zayla is not Seal, Zayla. Listen, she's in charge now. It's her team now. Oh, I think this is a boss event. There's a deep, perfectly circular pond here, filled with clear, crystalline water. Small, transparent creatures like jellyfish bob around in it, rippling with iridescence. Dees is with you in a characteristically bad mood, despite the jaw-dropping beauty of your surroundings. He plops grumpily down on the bluff to watch the water. Go swimming. Fuck it. Let's see what these jellyfish are, if these jellyfish are friendly, or if I'm about to die horribly. When you were very young, you learned to swim through the air in 0G. Swimming in water is different, but some of the principles are the same, so you get the hang of it quickly. It's invigorating. You stay near the shore and let the jellyfish tickle your feet. Don't do that. A significant portion of them are highly venomous. It's going great, until a tentacle grabs your ankle and everything goes terribly wrong. Seen that movie. You flail your arms, fighting the gentle pull of the tentacle. Dees watches from the shoreline. You think he's frozen in shock, but when you call for help, he only frowns in thought. Dees, help! Dees moves closer to the pool. Panic doesn't help, he mutters. Calm down, just calm down, see? You stop flailing and the tentacle stops pulling. See, it's not pulling you under, Dees says. It's just checking you out. Oh god, no, I've seen this. Hands up everybody who's seen this anime. That was the phrasing. After a while, the tentacle releases you and disappears into the depths. Dees helps fish you out of the deceptively deep pool and helps wring out your clothes. Say nothing. You're sulking now. Don't do that again, Dees says, sounding furious, actually. If you drowned in there, it would have been my fault. Don't ever do that again. You realize he's upset because he cares about you in his way. You mumble a thank you and grab a towel to dry off. Ha! Yes, forced into experience an emotion towards another human being that wasn't active hostility. You're right. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit too smug about that one, but I don't care. I think that's it. I think we've cleared the zone. And we did it without drowning. Despite our apparent attempts. Why do I look so miserable? Oh, we're above 50% stress. But I think that is everything for here, so out we swim. You know, this is less like, I don't know if I'm playing this right as a teenage exocolonist simulator. I'm more just playing this as a Dees bullier. You will be befriended whether you like it or not kind of way. We really should get our mental stats up. We are not working on those very well. And a new perk. Slip past all path blocking explore events. Oh. That's very attractive to have. Now I'm paying attention. Where's my stats? It's because we maxed out our perception? Yes. Ooh, okay. So you don't get the perk if your skill is artificially inflated through a gear. I mean, that makes sense. You let the jellyfish tickle your feet. You no longer have feet. I mean, that's probably the better outcome of letting a jellyfish at you, honestly. We need to up some things stats, and we do have a boost for it. Let's study... Do we need reasoning? Reasoning seems like a good thing to have. Biology, reasoning... How are we looking? Poor. Reasoning seems like a good thing to have. Engineering, reasoning. Yeah, we'll do engineering? Yeah. Your first test already? Calm down, class. Congruent smiles. This quiz is just to find out where you all stand and what you want to learn in this class. It will help me tailor personalized lesson plans for each of you. The test pings on your hollow palm and you open it. It starts easy. Suspiciously easy. Sure enough, every section is harder than the last, and you're quickly stumped by a question. You know the teacher said you weren't supposed to be able to answer all of them, but you look over at Tang. She's just breezing through the test. The competitive gremlin inside of you has an idea. Make a video game instead? Oh, that's tempting. Instead of doing the placement test, you fool around on your hollow palm and make a game based on flinging a ball around the classroom. It's made of light, but can detect and bounce off objects in the real world as long as you're looking at it from the right angle. You actually learn a lot, but Congruence tells you she isn't impressed with your work ethic and can't accept you into the advanced materials group. The point was to see what you need to work on, not judge you for what you already know. You need to oh, you have a cocktail evening at work. Have fun, don't work too hard. Unless you're the bartender, in which case, my sympathies and enjoy yourself. Too bad you didn't get into advanced materials like me, Tang says, showing you her score on the test. I missed a couple, she complains. Oh no! I have to keep the flunk. See if we can't forget that one next time we go for a relax. Let me see. We have no gems on any of these cards. Rip. +1 skill on... Oh, is it on... At the end of physical challenges. This isn't a physical challenge, but... that's also a 0. We don't need that. We're gonna need to use the Mars one, I think. Oh, but we do hit 20 on the money. So we lose 1 kudo and gain 5, so 4. It's your turn to get pissed, have the turntables. Enjoy. And don't forget that you need to figure out your way home before you get too rat-assed. Ooh, those are some nice stat buffs. Hello. It's been a long month of being cooped up indoors while it poured rain, and everything got too muddy and gross to play outside. You and the other teens are in the lounge, again, and everyone's getting a little antsy. Tangent and Cal are bickering about something, and Deese must be bored enough that he's letting Mars paint his fingernails. Nem is trying to do a dance she learned from watching holovids, and she's failing miserably. The sound of her music fills the room. You don't seem to be as affected by cabin fever as everyone else, but it's still funny to watch your friends acting silly. Nem dances a little too close to Mars's collection of nail polish, bumping into the table and sending them all, and herself, clattering to the floor. Hey, watch it, Dee snaps. Dance your stupid dance somewhere else. It's not stupid, Nem sniffles from the floor. You don't have to be so mean to me. Boo-hoo, Mars teases. What are you gonna do, dance about it? Ugh, you're all so childish. Who even cares? Hey, everyone just shut up, Cal exclaims from across the room. Honestly, you fight all the time. You stay inside when it's nice and dry, and you don't appreciate how hard everyone else is working. It's just whine, whine, whine. You're not better just because you work outside, Tang joins in. You're not special, Cal. If I wanted to, I could work outside. She opens her hollow palm and flies her fingers over the screen. There, see? Next month, I'll be working in geoponics. How do you like that? Then you can nag me about my soft hands all you want. Udicott pokes her head in from the command corridor. Children, keep it down. We can hear you all the way from the bridge. Everyone goes quiet for about a second and then explodes into arguing again. Udicott throws her hands in the air and retreats down the hallway in defeat. Time to go wild. This is a terrible idea, but we're fucking doing it. Somehow, the rambunctious group tumbles into your quarters. Thankfully, your parents are out. Everyone keeps fighting, and it's starting to get physical. Mars and Nem get into a shoving match, and Cal and Deese join in too. Tangent yells from the sidelines, cheering when Mars knocks Nem right on her butt. Owie! Nem whines, still sniffling. Okay, fine. I'm sorry for knocking over your stupid nail polish. Mars tosses her hair over her shoulder. Apology accepted. You can pick them up while you're down there. She flounces onto your bed. Ugh, now I'm bored. I can't believe I'm bored of bossing people around. Wait, Dee says, jumping up. We should play Spin the Bottle. Everyone looks around in surprise that Dee suggested it, but you can tell they're all kind of into the idea. Oh my god, teenagers. No, let's ramp it up. You want to fucking play games? Double dog dare you. No, 7 minutes in heaven. Everyone giggles nervously, but more courageous voices prevail, and soon you're spinning a bottle to sort out partners. Your palms sweat as the bottle spins on your turn, spinning, until it falls on Tangent. Tangent goes red from her hairline to the collar of her shirt. Fine, she stammers. I'm not scared. You and Tang find a nearby supply closet. She sneezes dustily and grimaces. Okay, she says, brushing off her hands. What do you want to do? Listen, we're on the absolute hunt for your brother. It would be extremely weird if we tried macking on her. Can we just talk? In the ghostly light of your hollow palms, Tang looks a little disappointed. Well, now I feel bad. Oh, okay, she says. Well, as long as we tell the others we kissed or something, if it's okay with you. I want Mars to think I'm cool. You and Tang spent an enjoyable 7 minutes together, talking about nothing in particular. You rejoin the others afterwards. Mars stares at the two of you, as if trying to figure out what you were doing in there the whole time. Tangent avoids her eye, still bright red. I love the expression they did there. They did it so well. The next day, you hear from your friends that everyone feels terrible. Like their arms and legs are made of lead, and it takes so much energy to do anything. All their energy from yesterday has been drained out of them and then some. It lasts for a week. Some of them can't even get out of bed. And when they do, their moods are all over the place. Aggressive, sulky, impulsive, until their batteries run out and they sleep for over 12 hours straight. Okay, taking bets now. Mystery disease or just straight up puberty? You're resting in the lounge with your friends, watching holovids and grazing on roasted pixie beans, when your dad and Chief Engineer Instance come storming through the door. You! Instance snaps, smacking the bowl of pixie beans out of Mars's hands. Stop eating those, this instant. Mars looks like she's about to smack some sense into Instance, but your dad steps in. I'm sorry, everyone. We were wrong about the pixie beans. They're not safe for you kids to be eating. Oh, we are actually being slightly poisoned. You've been feeding us poison? Mars shrieks. Oh, ew! Ew, ew, ew! Do my dads know you tried to kill me? Your dad spreads his hands. No, they're not. Don't worry, Mars, calm down. They're not poison. There's just a chemical in them that hyperbonds to estrogen and to testosterone, your big teenage growing hormones, and the brain likes binding to that new macromolecule a lot more than the regular kind. It's been making your moods unpredictable and causing periods of hypo and hypermania. When Mars just stares blankly at him, he laughs awkwardly. Translation, he says. It's been making you kids act silly and feel sick. I'm sorry. Instance frowns. If it's doing this to kids, it's not long until it builds up enough to affect the rest of us too. Until further notice, no one is eating a single pixie bean. Your dad looks distraught. Flulu was right, he says, collapsing into a nearby chair and rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things. But shit, she's still gonna be pissed that we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Status ended. Hormones. And now the glow, which I think means we're not allowed outside. At least outside the colony. And probably means someone's gonna die again, because I don't think we've had a glow without... What age are we? How old? Wait, what age are we? We're 13. We were 10 when we started. I don't think anyone died first glow. I think we may have actually prevented somebody dying first glow. Nem's just vibing. Mom's got the same dialogue as last year. One day I'm gonna be tall enough that I can't duck under this. Same goals I had in real life. Did not succeed in real life. I am 5'2". It's very annoying. It is. Same as last time. Here I have a weird fruit. Ooh, a rock. Is everybody else like indoors? I assume so. Let me see, what do we got for these? I could do with some money. Wait, no, it's the glow. We probably want to relax and get prepped up for... Because the glow is usually stressful as all get out. Then again, I can't keep wasting time relaxing when we're not stressed as fuck. Which is a wild sentence. Need reasoning 10 or greater. Back into engineering. See if we can't disappoint congruence more. You should have known better, Tangent, you hear as you walk past the laboratory. Curious, you listen at the door. Chief Engineer Instance sighs. I know you meant well, but your presumption has cost us 3 months of work. You can't simply look at an experiment and change the parameters to your liking. Getting results is not the same as doing good science. Your findings, however scientifically interesting, are useless to us without sound methodological underpinnings. Tang's response is more subdued than you've ever heard her before. I'm sorry, Chief Engineer, she mumbles, looking down at the floor. I recognize the error of my ways. I should hope so, Instance replies, pinching the bridge of her nose with her fingers. I'll expect you in the lab first thing tomorrow morning, and I will personally supervise your work in resetting the experiment. You flatten against the wall as Instance breezes past you, barely giving you a second look as she strides down the hallway. You poke your head inside the laboratory where Tang scowls and wipes her eyes. What do you want? That was Instance. What do you want? What were you working on? I am curious. Tang sighs and rubs her eyes harder. Something I've been working on with Chief Engineer Instance, she replies. I'm not supposed to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it. Losing the data was my fault, Tang continues. I wanted to prove I'm not the little kid from biology class, that I'm ready to work hard and really make great discoveries. Dr. Instance has always been there for me. When I was a kid, and now, with my mother gone, she's the only adult in this colony who sees what I could become, she says. She believes that I can be better than what I am. It's always been that way. I just really want to impress her. You will. Tang hums in agreement. I certainly hope so. Well, that was nicer than getting test bullied by congruence. Let me see. Random card locked into one slot. Woohoo! 5, 10, 15, 20. Ah, we got one of our super goals. Ends the little bit of stress. But Tang's happy with us, which is good. Another year, another glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack on the colony this year, so the colony is on high alert. You're collecting glowflies in the geoponics garden with Cal and Nem when the sirens begin to wail. You all stop what you're doing and look at each other nervously. Your parents run off to help defend the farms, telling you to get inside the greenhouses and stay quiet. Nem declares she's going to the walls to watch the soldiers fight. She knows a good spot. Let's go with some... We've done this every year so far. We're going to do it again. We're going to help defend the gates. You scramble down the walls and are immediately faced with a seething wall of hop eyes. You kind of thought there were only a handful of these usually peaceful creatures in previous years, but there's swarms of them now. And not just hop eyes. Once your eyes adjust to the chaos, you can see large creatures that look like walking bushes. These wild centipede-looking things with long spider legs, and at least one giant, many-eyed thing that's hovering clear off the ground, defying gravity. They all seem to be incited into a frenzy, attacking everything in sight and trying to get through the walls. It's dark and chaotic. Calm sees you through the fray. Solana, he shouts, get to safety! You're suddenly not sure this is a good idea, but then you look up and see Nem shouting encouragement from up on the wall. Well, fight tactically. I've been taking combat classes to not do combat. +1, 2 red cards, +5 kudos if total equals goal. Sure. Oh, perfect. 1, 2, 2. Oh no, that's a shite one. All reds and a 4. Why the fuck not? Let's slap that in. Oh yeah, we reached a new super goal. Man, getting those 3 stars is beefy. A total 25 out of best score 26. So I guess the super goal shifts depending on if you set your own record that you have to beat. You're not even trying to win. There's too many of them and you're unarmed, but even your vulnerability can become a weapon. You use your knowledge of the buildings around the gate to bait anything that slips past the defenders into circling back, so they can be picked off by people with actual weapons. Nem acts as your air support, calling out when certain shortcuts are blocked by the creatures, so you always have an escape route. Eventually, the defense forces manage to push back the creatures. The rest of the broken swarm flee back into the wilderness. Calm jogs over to you, breathing heavily, and slaps you on the back. "You're one brave kid," he says. "Stupid, but brave. You really helped out back there." Nem whistles and hollers from the walls, and Calm shoots her a grin. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. "I'm telling you, it's not a fluke," your mom says. They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. The field, the lights." "Okay," your dad replies, taking your hands across the tabletop. "We have to tell the people what we saw in geoponics." They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. "Hey, Rutabaga." "What happened in the fields?" Your mom stands up. "Don't worry about that," she snaps. "Get to bed. It's late, and we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up." That's not the voice I've been doing for her, but... "Oh, I got new clothes!" "Oh, that's a cute outfit." Oh, Tang's had a hair change. Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. "It stings," she says, "because it's made of acid." "Acid snow?" Tang nods. The HoloNet entry says it isn't harmful. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks out her tongue and lets some of the flakes fall on it. "It tastes kind of sour, but sweet," she observes. "Fascinating." Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. "We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete," she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. "The big mushrooms change in shape and colour before the snow begins to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season?" A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. "There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait." "You and your brother are much alike." Tang narrows her eyes. "Yes, we used to get that a lot," she says. "I guess it's still true, if you think sneaking out of the colony is the same as valid scientific research." She frowns at you. "He's so dumb," she mutters, and shoves her hands under her arms. "He only cares about feelings, especially his own." Oh boy. Oh, Nem has so much hair. It's like they're like complete opposites. Tang has shaved her head fully, and Nem has like the big hair. They're both such great looks. The hell? Nem grabs you by the shoulders. "Solana, you gotta help me," she says urgently. "Mom keeps talking about how we're all gonna have to start having babies, and she gets this look about her. I don't want to have any skunky babies." Nem shudders with her whole body. "Why they gotta be in a girl body anyway? I'm tougher and stronger than lots of boys, and no one's telling them they gotta have babies." Run, Anemone. That's the only advice I could give you. Just fucking book it. Moms get into that mood. You just kind of gotta grit your teeth and bear it for like a good solid year before they give up. Also have a flower. It's not an anemone, but I couldn't find any. Oh, hey! And of course he's wearing a hood. I don't want to be the one to say this. And part of that is because I've never actually seen the movie I'm about to refer to. But am I the only one that thinks he looks a little bit like the Onceler? Like a little bit. Okay, I'm going to lock that part of my brain in the bin and never look at it again. So hopefully I never have to have that thought again. Because I was on Tumblr when that movie was popular. Let's not talk about that. You catch Deese on a ridge overlooking the wilderness, bobbing his head along to something playing through his hearspeak. He doesn't notice you walk up. He jumps when you tap him on the shoulder and scrambles to turn off his hollow palm. Don't sneak up on me like that, he grumbles, then flops backwards on the grass to look up at you. Man, I was just getting to the good part of the song. What are you listening to? Deese looks away. Just some old music from Earth. You probably wouldn't like it. Try me. You sit down beside Deese and extend your hand to link your hollow palms. Deese stares at you for a few seconds before pressing his palm to yours, and music floods your brain through your hearspeak. Deese takes his hand back and weaves his fingers together, timid. I listen to a lot of Earth music, he says. Do you like it? He asks. Sure, I love this band. 'Cause this is vague as hell. Deese cracks a small smile, relieved. Good, he says. It's my favorite right now. I always listen to the same album on repeat. It's comfort music. I really like her voice. Okay, I'm going to project on that this is Florence and the Machine, because this is just kind of the same vibe I get from there. He stares into his lap. Sometimes I feel like the lyrics are about me, he admits. They're just so deep. Like, my soul really gets this kind of music. Teenagers is the same. But don't tell anyone, okay? It makes me feel better thinking that someone knows my pain. Even if it's just a dead Earth woman. Sounds deep, man. I'm not telling him she probably just wrote it for the money. That's ruthless. Deese nods and closes his eyes. Yeah, he replies. I have a lot of time to think. Not like everyone else here. Oh, hey! We got like a CG. Didn't know they had those. You lie back in the grass and listen to Deese's music for a while. Introduce him to some new music. That would make me feel bad. Now, are we committing to... Well, I'm committing to the bit regardless, but we're committing to the bit and we will hold his hand. Scandalous. Not even married. You reach out tentatively and link just your pinky fingers with Deese, feeling him tense up beside you. He darts you a nervous glance, then looks back up at the sky when he sees you looking back at him. His cheeks go completely red. He doesn't hold your hand, but he doesn't move his away either. Okay, that was delightfully sweet. Hey, Cal. You spot Cal kneeling in the dirt, digging up root vegetables and frowning. Aw, he's got the little beads. Those are so cute. They're so small this year, he says, holding one up and examining it. Sorry, we're back to the vegetables, not the beads. Maybe there's just not enough nutrients in the soil. Is it something we're doing wrong? Okay. Oh, wait, no, I heard a rumor about what this might be referring to. Here, have some, roots. Neat, Cal exclaims, taking your gift and peering at it inquisitively. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I love it. Thank you. He's such a bundle of joy. Your mom mutters to herself as she pulls potatoes from the ground in clusters barely larger than your palm. Still, you hear her say, before her head jerks up and she sees you standing there. I didn't see you there, Solana. What do you need? No, nothing I can do with Ma. Da is on a break again. Good, this man is always on a break. I feel mean for saying that now. We know he does a lot of work. Was the collectible making a noise at me? Or was that in the background? I don't know. Ooh, Mars's outfit is sweet. Oh, that is fantastic. Ugh, Mars whines. Nothing ever happens here. Please, 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 just anything. I'm dying here. I've watched every holovid, and I've done every quiz in every holozine, and I'm so tired of being a teenager on this stupid rock. It's been almost 5 years, and I don't even have a boyfriend. Get into a debate. That'll give her something to do. Mars would never stoop to using her fists to get her way, but she loves a good fight nonetheless. You ask her what she would have done differently if she'd been the captain of the Stratospheric when you landed, and her eyes go wide. She launches into a laundry list of shoulda wouldas, and whatever she says she would have done, you offer reasoning for why it wouldn't have worked. After a little while of this, Mars is positively invigorated. "Wow, you really thought about all this, didn't you?" she says, cracking a little smile. "You're totally right. It's a lot more complicated than just making decisions and telling people what to do. Thank you. It's so important to have people like you around to keep me on my toes." I feel like I did Mars is your kindred spirit argument for argument's sake. Yeah, Mars is great. Mars is the one that, like, every now and then she says something that's a total asshole move, but then in the next season or the next year she flips it or says something that wins me back again. Like, the writing is so good in this. It's so good. They feel like people, if that makes sense. She cracks her knuckles. "Okay, but when I'm governor, I will do so much better than the adults can." Okay, we're still going back outside, though. I am stretched as hell. Never mind, we're taking a nap. It is snowing. We should probably do this indoors. Counter offer, though. No. You entertain yourself by throwing snowballs down at people from your hideaway on top of the wall. It's a lot of fun to watch them whip around, uncertain where the snowballs are coming from. You hope your laughter doesn't give it away. Anyway, how are you, Ingrid? Hypothermia acquired? Nah, I'll be grand. Oh, yes. I can get rid of the flunking the test. Whoops. Can I get rid of both of these? No. Okay. Oh, right. It's my birthday. Oh, dear. It's your birthday. You wake up from a night of blissfully peaceful dreams. No nightmares, no premonitions, just a pleasant feeling of contentment. You stretch your arms above your head, blinking in the watery, quiet sunlight that seeps through the porthole window. Things are always changing on Vertumna, but you can't help but feel like things are changing for yourself too. Not just your body, but your mind, your emotions, your future. 14 is going to be your year. Your parents have been working around the clock since the last attack, trying to get the fields right again in time for this year's planting. Spark snow has already started falling, and every day they come home complaining about having to clear it. They ask you to ping them when you're awake so you can share birthday breakfast in your quarters, instead of sitting shoulder to shoulder with everyone else during breakfast service in the canteen. You fire them a message and lie back in your bunk, watching dust motes float lazily in the light. After a minute, there's a knock at the door. It's Auntie Seaton. She sweeps into your room in a bustle of skirts and shawls and sits down beside you on your bunk. "Oh, look at you," she says. "Happy birthday, beautiful. 14 years old." She leans in and gives you a motherly kiss on the forehead. It's been years since she took care of you in the children's creche, but all the kids still call her Auntie and think of her as a close relative. Her sweet baking bread smell is as comforting as it ever was. She sits back and takes one of your hands in both of hers. "Solana, ever since I held you in my arms as a baby, I knew you were so special, so important. You're becoming a young woman, but I want you to know that I will always, always be here for you, just like your mum and dad," she says firmly. "Thanks, Auntie Seaton." It's how you give a child a... She smiles and tucks an unruly lock of your hair behind your ear. "I guess you're old enough to call me Auntie Anne now, if you like, or even just Anne." "Now, come on in here," Aunt Anne says, spreading her arms wide. "Give us a great big hug." You hug her, enveloping yourself in the warm and familiar softness of her. Over her shoulder, you see Nem standing in the doorway. Well, her hair, anyway. She's been growing it out, and there's no hiding it behind a corner. She skips into your quarters. "Happy birthday, bud," she says, bouncing on your bunk. "Way to get older. Enjoy being 2 years older than me for a few months." "She's 12? Oh, no, she's almost 13. "It's good you're both here," Anne says. "Now that you've both been menstruating for about a year..." Nem makes a face and mutters, "Yuck." But Anne continues, You're both eligible for the cessation implant. Among other things, it will prevent the bleeding and the pain and the emotional roller coaster of your monthly cycle. I was so worried she was about to do the talk in the middle of this. I don't think I could have kept a straight face. Nem CG2! Mom! Nem hollers. Gross! Do you have to tell everybody about my cycle? I just don't want to get pregnant, okay? Anne laughs. Well, yes, that is among the other things part. But I don't expect you two to be needing that part for a few years yet, right? Nem looks disgusted by the prospect, or maybe just by her mom talking about it. Eek, grosseroni. What's the matter, scared? That feels like something a kid would say, even if they don't mean it. No, Nem exclaims, punching you in the arm. No, of course not. It just super sucks that now everyone's talking about how I'm becoming a woman and how I'll finally look different to my brothers. Duh. She points at you. Don't you start too. I'll still kick your ass at sports ball, even with cramps. Your parents finally arrive, still damp from the fields, and bringing in the smell of crisp, tangy snow on their clothes. Oh, look, birthday visitors, your dad exclaims. Anne, are you staying for breakfast? Anne reaches into her bag and brings out a stack of tiffins. No, thank you, but I brought your order with me from the kitchen, seeing as I was stopping by. She pats your hand one more time. Happy birthday again, Solana. You'll always be my baby, even when you're all grown up. Your mom shakes her head as Anne and Nem leave. Oh, Anne, she laughs, sentimental to the core. She starts laying out the cutlery for breakfast. But I don't know how the colony would manage without her and the children's creche, she says, and points a fork at you. Family is more than the people that birth you, Solana, and don't you forget it. You're at work cooking your dinner, so you're in a neutral state? Yeah, that's fair. I hope it's at least tasty. Okay, we've got no specific talks to do, so we are going the fuck outside. See what we've got. See what our options are. It was same as ever. Oh, wait, we have a bestiary. Okay. I don't know if I doubt we've uncovered everything, but Valley of Vertigo. Geoponics would be interesting in domesticating. Western Resting Ridge. Interesting ruins. Wait. Ruins? Nobody said anything about signs of previous life. Hazardous weather conditions in the swamp. I'm not fucking surprised. All events have respawned. This is very unhelpful. This tells me nothing. Thank you. We're gonna go poke around. Utopia is helping you gear up for exploring the nearby jungle when she stops what she's doing and sighs. Ugh, I just remembered I gave the last utility belt to Cinnamon, she says. You'll just have to carry your knife and canteen in your backpack, sorry. I sure miss Uncle Tonin, she says. He was a great surveyor. He organized all the teams, planned the schedules, kept an eye on the weather. I keep double booking equipment and getting folks mad. It's a lot of work. Utopia was born on Earth, but just barely. As the first, and for a while the only, kid in the creche, she and Uncle Tonin must have been really close. Utopia doesn't complain, not usually, but it's been hard for her to step into Uncle Tonin's shoes. She loves exploring, flying fast and stalking xenofauna, but there's more to being chief of expeditions than that. It must be hard being somewhere between the adults and the kids. To you, she's fully grown up, but to the adults, she'll always be little baby Pia, even though she's 26 years old. This is the colony outskirts. Oh, it's a one-way thing. Maybe I should have just gone for the... You stop for lunch, eating an earth treat grown from your own greenhouses. A watermelon. Nice and sweet, like a more solid watato pod. You munch away, spitting out the seeds. Practice spitting. You take the challenge seriously, lining up targets and keeping scores. your aim improves. Ooh, we got +3 to combat. You come across a float cow that seems to be ill. She's floating upside down, a meter off the ground, kicking her segmented legs into the air periodically, as though trying to right herself. Her slitted eyes look at you imploringly. She makes a helpless lowing noise and tries to flip over, but her ratio of gas to liquid must be unbalanced. Well, I think we already know what's wrong with her. We've done this one before. You take a closer look at the float cow. You've heard they float using a certain ratio of liquid to gas in their membranous bladders. So after some consideration, you figure out that the bladder on her back must be too full of liquid. Oh dear. Okay, I guess we're milking the float cow now, because we couldn't do this last time. It's hard to milk a float cow that's upside down. She struggles and kicks her legs at you as you try to flip her over long enough to get to the others. But thanks to a combination of might and empathy, you manage to calm her down. She's still sick. Milk's supposed to collect in her lower udder, not her gas bladder. But at least she's balanced now, and she has a chance to get well on her own. It's probably better than what we did last time, which I'm pretty sure we popped the bladder and she just went flying into the sky. She definitely wasn't good for her health. Let's see. There's a lot of things, so I think we're gonna... Oh, we have a quest! Oh, we have an event. I'm gonna do this one... No, I'm gonna do this one to get this done before we lose all of our stress. Hey, Dees. You're literally glowing, but... You find Dees sitting on a flat rock on a hilltop, eating a sandwich, and looking totally at home far from the colony walls. Join him quietly. You sit down next to Dees and get out your own lunch. Some soy cheese cubes and crackers from the cafeteria. You listen to the jungle sounds and think about how nice it is just to be free and in the open, and not confined to a tiny box hurtling through space. Then, quite out of the blue, the rock you're both sitting on stands up and starts to walk down the hill. Oh, okay. You crouch and look over the edge of the rock. You're a couple of meters off the ground, balancing on spindly legs like a spider's, 8, 10 of them, evenly spaced. You realize the rock also has eyes at regular points, which you've mistaken for shiny black pebbles embedded in the stone. One of them swivels up to stare at you. You gulp and try not to scream. Dees gets shakily to his feet, trying to keep his balance as the creature under you slowly clambers forward. He grabs your hand to help you up. Oh, excellent. Our bravery's so high, this is easy. What is our bravery? Oh, it's not that high. Let me see, we could do 3, 4, and 5. And then just shower a bunch of 5s in, I'm guessing. Ooh, is 25 our highest that we can go, or can we coax it a little higher with Well, that's not gonna work. I think 25 might be our highest. That's heartbreaking. So be it. Oh, shoot. I should have gone for 25. Damn it. You swallow hard and control your fear. Barely. Actually, this is kind of neat. Dee seems calm too. You hold hands to steady yourselves as the living rock totters along under you. After a minute, the creature crouches down to look at something, and the two of you jump off. As soon as you're safe, a flood of adrenaline hits you. Wow! You could have died, maybe. You're so impressed that Dees kept his cool, and you tell him so. Actually, he says, I was kind of freaking out inside. You laugh and say you were too. It's funny, Dees might suck with people, but is kind of a badass when it comes to non-people things. I'm gonna keep exploring. Bravest teenager in the Space West. Ah, yes. Between us, I think, in fairness, I think Dees might win on bravery over Nem, simply because he has a lower level of self-preservation. Make sure I do my remembrance now it's dropped. Man, I gotta find one with a bell. I need the bell ones. I didn't hear any ringing on that one. Hold on, there's another hot eye up there that I can pet. Come here, let me give you attention. This hot eye is acting really strange. It won't let you pass. It suddenly starts flailing around like there's something wrong with it, even though it was fine a second ago. It keeps pausing to look at you, then goes back to flailing. Oh no, I bet it's got a nest nearby. What's its deal? We'll do the challenge. Oh, I bet the poor baby has a nest nearby. You have an 8? Oh, but it gives us plus 10 stress. How are we on stress? Oh, we're fine. Well, we'll play it if we need it, actually. 5, 4, 3. Yeah, we don't need that. Nice. Got a streak. Seriously? 31 out of 35 best score? What in... Oh. Last round only? Yeah, but we still got to a 31. It was 27 last time. I take that personally. You stop trying to get past it and just listen. Oh, you can hear little squeaking noises from nearby. It's probably trying to warn you away from its nest. Ah, yeah, got it right. You carefully avoid the nest while speaking in soothing tones. The agitated little guardian titters warnings at you, but eventually lets you by. Yeah, there's birds that do the same thing, which I think is pretty fucking neat. Let's see what some of these events are. These are the furthest ones out, so. Ahead of you, the road curves right, and there's a steep hill leading off to the left. You bet there's a really great view from the top of it, but it's going to be a scramble to get up there. Fuck it, we're going up. You'll leave your pack in some bushes at the base so you'll be lighter on your feet, then start the trek. It's tiring and even steeper than it looked from the bottom, but some broad mushroom-capped trees provide shade. The view from the top is spectacular. You can see all the way to the colony walls in one direction, and down to a little sawmill in the other. Then you spot it, the rock, the most perfect boulder you've ever seen, teetering right on the edge of the slope you just climbed up. It's almost as tall as you are, and must weigh at least 2,000 kilos, but it's practically teetering there. You think with enough muscle you could push it over. Am I going to crush somebody? I don't want to drop a rock on somebody. I just realized my little icon has the tongue poking out. That's fucking adorable. I do want to push the rock down the hill, though. There comes a time in every childhood that one must take life by the horns and just push the rock. You shove it with all your might, digging your toes into the hard ground and leaning in. The rock starts to slide. And suddenly it's off with a satisfying lurch, catapulting down the hill, rolling faster and faster, crashing through the bushes and... Oh, damn! Your pack! The rock just rolled right over it! You make your way back down to the hill to retrieve your bag, now completely destroyed, along with all of its contents. Ah, shoot. You're gonna have a hard time explaining this one to your parents, and you're going to need a new pack. Well, at least I didn't crush somebody to death. Time to murder. Yeah. My murderer, my fucking luck. Aww. I forgot it changed depending on her stress level. She looks so pouty. This planet is full of all sorts of bugs. Little wrigglers, hopping beetles, shiny creepers, and snaily things. Oh my! You crouch in the long grasses and explore a square meter in great detail. There's so much to see. You don't even know what any of these things are. They might not even have names yet. Touch one. I think we watched last time, so we're going to touch one and see what happens. Ew, you touched it. You're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. Touch the bug, die from poison? Possibly, but... Oh dear. You're getting ready to leave your quarters one day when you're stopped by your mom, who hasn't left for work yet. She's always been an early riser, out in the fields before first sunrise. The fact that she specifically stayed home to talk to you is a bad sign. Sit down, Solana, she says. We have to talk. Why is the first option, I don't want to talk to you? That sounds like I'm in danger. We're not going to say that, because that's bad for your health. Okay. You sit down across from your mother. She stares down. She stares you down, just looking, right into your soul, like she's counting up every bad thing you've ever done. I don't think you appreciate just how much I know about you, she says, finally. With the amount of freedom you kids have, you forget that you're being watched. I don't like what I'm seeing. And your attitude, she spits, is absolutely atrocious. I know you're a teenager and you're supposed to push boundaries, but this is ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Hey, fuck you. Sorry. Never mind. We're now sassing Mom. Yes, I'm 85 oh, okay. It's because it's the relationship with adults and colony government. Don't call a fucking teenager ridiculous. You know what? Stay silent. That's it. She's getting the silent treatment. She bangs her fist on the table for emphasis. This isn't some Hollywood high school drama, Solana. This is real life. This is life or death. Do you get what I'm saying? People are going to die if we don't work hard enough, she shouts, standing up from her seat. She scrubs her face and sits back down with the thought, hey, fuck off. I'm working like every month. In fact, I'm probably doing something more useful than growing pixie beans. Don't say that to her. You have to learn how to fit in, she says, quieter. You're a part of a larger community, an ecosystem. You're supposed to be learning that, but you're running out of time. Soon, you'll be an adult. People will need to rely on you. What the fuck? I am consistently helpful. It's just using you as an outlet, smacker. Let's not do the violence thing. But seriously, we've been consistently helpful with the survey team. Okay, I don't appreciate this. But if you say shut up to your mother, that's life-threatening. Although I think she's kind of earned it. You are putting too much pressure on me. I am 14, and I do work. Am I? Your mom says, tilting her head. Her gaze goes somber and distant. When I was just a little older than you are now, I was fighting a war against the people of Earth. First, they ignored us. Then, they mocked us. Then, they attacked us. She pats her prosthetic leg. And then we won. All so we could give you a chance to grow up here. Don't disrespect me by wasting it. Where the fuck is this coming from? Like, we have, aside from the occasional month we take to get it, I know it's coming from the rebellion to a loyalty meter, but Jesus Christ. Your mom reaches out and pats your hand patronizingly. I remember being your age, full of anger, ready to fight anyone who told me what to do. I wish someone had told me I deserved better. I wish... She shakes her head. You can do better than this, Solana, she says solemnly. You just have to apply yourself and listen to your elders. This colony needs you to be a part of it. It's why you were born. Wow, she is bad at parenting. Oh my god, madam. For a literal rebel fighter, your mom has a strange relationship to authority. You'd think she'd understand what it means to want freedom above all else. She's such a hypocrite. You're sick of people telling you what to do, thinking they know what's best for you. They don't know what it's like to grow up on an alien planet. They don't know what it's like to have all these weird thoughts and dreams. It's your actual parents. Do you want me to kill your parents? Because if they're behaving like this, I'll kill them for you. All this because I pushed a boulder? No, in fairness, I think this is because I've just been consistently bumping the rebellion meter up over the last couple of seasons. By doing the sort of scandalous things that teenagers aren't supposed to do, like making their own fucking decisions. Like, I get teenagers are something... I think they're, like, medically incapable or, struggle with long-term consequences. Something to do with that part of the brain is still working, is still putting itself together. But, like, that doesn't mean they're, you know, incompetent. Like, I feel like long-term consequences is a skill that can be learned like any other. Going back on the walls, fuck this lady. You're enjoying some quiet time on the walls when you look down and see a group of school children on a field trip outside the walls. Wait, are you missing a field trip? Aw, maybe you are missing something by doing all your school work up here alone. You climbed a lot of things you shouldn't have climbed when you were a teenager. I mean, yeah, isn't that what being a teenager is for? An enemy's exercising. Tang is doing the science fair. Cal is vibing, it would appear. Yes. Ah, Dad actually has a new son. Oh dear. Fuck her. Like, she might be great as a member of the council with the geoponics, but she's slacking on the mom department. You can hear your dad sneeze all the way from engineering. It's explosive, like he's trying to scare away predators. Ah, ye olde dad sneeze. He's wiping his nose as you approach, on a handkerchief blotted but with shimmering pink. Lately, he's also surrounded by a fine dusting of pink pollen that clings to him wherever he goes. You keep brushing the glitter off things in your quarters. He gives you a hug, then brushes pollen off your shoulder, laughing self-consciously. You haven't heard him laugh much lately. He's been working hard trying to improve the colony's food supply. He's showing signs of malnourishment too, though your mom is worse. You're worried for both of them. Your dad's skin is shiny in patches. He sees you staring and rubs his hands over his arms. Sparkling dust poofs off him in little clouds, scintillating in the light. Oh, yeah, that's a new symptom, he says. Seems harmless, though. You need to wear your fucking mask, but you need to see Instance. Your dad waves you off. I will, he says placatingly. She's just as busy as we are these days, though. There's no sense bothering her. He flexes. He's pretty strong, though he's got nothing on your mom. And I'm doing fine, really. Your dad sniffles. Gosh, I feel like someone stuffed a whole potato pod up my nose, he says. Like I could just poke a stick up there and pop fresh potato juice. Ugh, gross. He just grins. What? It's true. You follow his gaze out to the fields and to the lands outside the gate. I wonder if the foragers could use an extra hand, he muses to himself. Yeah, maybe I'll join them out there tomorrow. Neither of your parents are taking proper care of themselves. They're so stressed out from the poor harvest and low food supplies. They try not to let you see it, but you can tell. Maybe your dad is right. A little seasonal illness is nothing compared to the dangers of running out of food. Wear your mask, you damn idiot. Yeah, like, I have roughly this much trouble trying to convince my real life parents to, go to the fucking doctor. I swear they do it on purpose. Shovel dirt? No. Going outside again. We have no stress. Oh, hey, Dees. Did you move? You leave the front gates and see Dees talking to one of the senior surveyors. He listens intently to their instructions, and the surveyor hands him a satchel of instruments and claps him on the shoulder before walking away. Dees turns to you. Hey, Solana, he says. He hikes the satchel on his shoulder and gives you a shy smile. It's still kind of weird to be allowed outside the walls. Remember when we used to sneak out? Dees' eyes crinkle at the corners. It was so easy to avoid Chief Surveyor Tonin, he says wistfully. He ducks his head. Too bad he's dead. He was really nice to me. What's the weirdest thing you've seen? Do not say me. Dees looks up at the sky with a thoughtful look. There's this big rock in the western ridges that's almost totally flat on top. When I get near it, it makes me feel happy. He smiles. It's so strange, and it's really hard to leave. The first time I went there, I lay on top of it for so long that I almost missed the transport back. I know it's my job, but I haven't told anyone about it yet, he says. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like it wants to be kept a secret. That sounds kind of romantic. This feels weird. An isolated place that makes you feel good? Yeah. Dees blinks at you like the thought truly hadn't crossed his mind. He frowns. I guess, he says, as if the words taste bad in his mouth. Dees looks pretty busy, so you say goodbye and let him get back to his work. You'll have to let him keep some of his secrets. For now. So does that mean we have... Okay, we have no idea what his birthday is. We don't know what his augment is. We don't know what he likes. And and we have no defined relationship with him. But we know his, like, personal secrets. In fairness, I couldn't tell you most people's favorite color. Survey the plains. You have to let us out of here one day, right? Dwayne Johnson cameo? Fucking when? What? Hello? Am I missing something? Oh! Utopia is sorting through stuff the foragers have brought back, putting them into bins to either get analysed or taken straight to the kitchens. Hey, sweets, she says, not even looking up. You headed out? You and Dees take care of each other out there, okay? She sighs. I've got to get through all this before day's end, she says. It'll take me all day. Unless you're here to help out. Sure. Utopia lays out an assortment of mushrooms. Alright, here's a simple one. Which one of these fellas is poisonous? Pick the right one. Mushrooms? You got this. You know what kind of mushrooms are served in the canteen, and it's easy to pick them out of the assortment. Dee says he likes the rock. Oh, I didn't even clock it. Great work, sweets, Utopia exclaims, a big smile on her face. You're a regular pig. Don't worry, that's a compliment. On Earth, they used to use pigs to sniff out buried mushrooms. Go out there and dig us some up, why don't you? Finish up what you're doing on the survey team, but come back next month and I'll put you with the foragers, she says. You'll be going in the Valley of Vertigo. It's one of the best places to forage for wild berries and other edibles. Yes, we're finally got a new zone to go to. Okay, well, I'm gonna beeline it for the boss event since we can skip anything that tries to stand in our way this time. Time to forage food and save the colony from food shortage. I fucking hope so. That's kind of our only shot, and I don't know if they're gonna let us. Because, I mean, this is the game that, like, murdered a 10-year-old through electrocution, so I don't know if that's gonna, I don't know if we're gonna get away with foraging. Oh, wait, there's an event up here. Oh, hey, it's the meditation at the plateau again. We will catch up with Dees this time. There's no adventure where Dees is either. This is some peaceful territory right here. Boring. Oh, well, never mind. I should have meditated. I don't think there would have been any direct benefit to it, but at least the view would have been nice. Give us some shrimp. And come on, I know there's a boss event out here somewhere. How long is this road? Yeah. Oh, free rocks. Come on. Aha! You spot an enormous, unfamiliar flower. Large, waxy petals join to form a basin brimming with goopy yellow gunk. The entire thing has a sticky, melting look. The awful smell of the juice permeates the area. It's like something died in there. Drink the goop. Drink it. We're not drinking the goop. I think we'll wait and watch, because I don't want to drink goop. One of the nearby bushes starts rustling. Oh, another bushbub. It approaches the plant and dips an arm into it, bringing it to its face and licking it. Then it sticks its head right in there and drinks. You try not to gag. Blech. After some long, deep gulps, the bushbub wanders away, looking slightly tipsy. Put your hand in. You tentatively slip your hand in a little ways and feel around. Suddenly, the plant contracts and sucks your arm into the elbow. Why does the bushbub have giant pecs? I don't know. You panic, expecting the sting of digestive juices, but it's just warm. Gross, but oddly pleasant. There seems to be nothing else in there. You plant your feet on either side of the flower and pull your arm out with a mighty slurp. Your hand smells awful, but feels all tingly and kind of stronger. All your noise attracts a nearby bushbub. It comes scurrying out of the bush, growling and cackling at you. Defend yourself. This is a terrible idea. Do not fight a rock in the shape of a bush. Why is that +1? Oh, because that's a... Okay. Sure. Okay. Nice. Nailed it. We have previously raised the question of the bushbub titties, and I don't think there's an answer to that anybody wants to know. The funny creature rears up and stomps the ground intimidatingly, but by reading its body language you realize it's just trying to move you away from the big flower. You back away slowly, talking softly to it. Good bushbub. You can keep your gross stink flower. It's all yours, buddy. Keep exploring. And you know what? +1 toughness for sticking your arm in a flower you definitely shouldn't have stuck your arm in. I'll take it. Also, I do not want to, let's return so that we have more of a stress barrier for when we head out to Vertigo. Yeah, probably a better outcome than trying to drink the stuff. Oh, we're almost at our next animals park. You're at lunch with your parents. Sliced soy cakes and watery broth again. Great. When they put down their cutlery and look at each other, then you. Solana, your mom says, there's something we should tell you. We've tried to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. I'd love to do a run of this where you actually work in geoponics instead of outside. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. Okay. You follow your parents to the council room. Mars has also tagged along, and you take a seat near them as your mom and Aunt Anne stand to address the council. After Udicott officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not going to mince words, your mom says firmly. All of our efforts to increase food production in geoponics have failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nail in our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and Mars exchange horrified looks. You've been doomsaying about our food supply for 2 years, Flulu, Rhett questions. Do you mean to say we're past the point of no return? Your mom nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a Vertumnan food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over the supplies and come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. Your mom sighs and spreads her hand. I'm sorry. Geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off of soy rations. During wormhole transit, when we lost our hydroponics in the hull breach, she sighs again. I know I've said it so many times, but our crops just don't grow here. We needed those algae tanks. We needed the microbial soil from Earth. It's not Mom's fault. Well, it's not. She wasn't steering. It's not. The survival of the colony shouldn't rest on one person's shoulders. It's not fair. She's been working harder than anyone. She did everything she could. The council mumbles agreement. You decide they probably never really blamed her or your dad. The only holdout is Mars, who crosses her arms and grumbles that it's clearly a problem with leadership. So, what do we do now? Instance asks. Starving to death isn't an option. No, it isn't, your mom replies. We need to secure a food source this year before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it's not enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning the soil. We need more hands. Oh, that's why she's been so cranky with me. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants, Utopia offers. Even the young folks can help if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo message later. This has been the burden of geoponics for too long, Udicott says. It's time we all step up. For our future. The council nods in agreement. Your stomach rumbles ominously. Why am I so croaky today? I mean, I know I'm supposed to be croaky with Udicott, but... Cool, we have immediately switched to starving. Let me see. Well, Nobody's up for a chat. I should probably give somebody something. Hey, Cal, you want a rock? Okay. You know what? Here, have a flower. Oh, he likes the boba fruits. Shoot. An enemy likes Jack Skippy. Tangent likes... Oh, flowers and medicinal roots. Excellent. Tammy, rest in peace. There's so many people we haven't even met yet. I want to know what's going on with that. These likes absolutely nothing as far as I can tell. Mars likes yellow flowers. Okay. We gave Dees a flower before. He didn't know what to do with it. Here, have a rock. Wait, I already gave him one, didn't I? Oh well. He's getting another one, I guess. How many flowers do we have? Okay. Mars is just being Mars. Let's see if we just can't fire gifts at people. Okay, you need the medicinal roots. Because, an enemy... Do you have anything you want, an enemy? Oh, we could train with her. I feel like I'll die. Oh, cool. The card you get is called Getting Your Butt Kicked. You know what? Here, have a... steak. Everybody's getting a steak until I figure out who likes them and who doesn't. Okay. In fairness, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody particularly liked the sticks. They are steaks. We are going foraging because we're starving to death. Yay! Ooh, an egg. Utopia greets you warmly as you muster for your first expedition with the foraging team. Solana, I'm glad you could make it. We need everyone we can get out here right now, boosting our food supplies. I'm ready to sniff out those tasties. Good luck hunting out there, she says, handing you an oversized backpack. More like a basket than a pack. Use your holopalm to identify edible and medicinal plants and just throw them in here. I'll sort them back at base camp. Oh, and keep a lookout for creatures. It's pretty peaceful out there in the valley, but even a little bug will get you if you're not careful. Go slow, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're unsure of something, don't approach it. Stay on the path and don't get lost. We don't call it the Valley of Vertigo for nothing. Is this the equivalent of a DPS check, get food or the colony wipes? I don't know. He could flirt with Utopia. She's 26. I'm 14. I mean, it does seem like something a 14-year-old would do, but I don't want to horrify her. Any questions? Will Dees be with me this time? Utopia looks like she's trying not to smile. No, Dees is good at finding new things, just not so much the same things over and over. You'll be okay, though, she continues. You won't be out there alone, and you're doing important work. You're about to leave when Utopia snaps her fingers. Hold up, Solana. We're also investigating some species we might domesticate. Those we'll want to tag and capture. Ideally, we're looking for herbivorous creatures what already live in herds and either produce something edible or reproduce quick enough we can slaughter them for meat. If you see something that fits the bill, tag them and bring them back. Okay. Herds, edible. Valley of Vertigo. Eggy. Hey, buddy! Oh no, we can't make the... Don't make me eat the freaky. A curious freaky blocks your path. It's acting strange. It keeps scurrying up trees and hanging upside down to get a different angle to look at you, then dropping down when you try to pass underneath. It may be small, but it's at least attempting to be intimidating. That must mean something. It's not interested in your pet, Freaky. It's interested in you. Even Riki Tiki looks unsure and hides between your legs. We will approach. And possibly... I'm assuming this is another case of them having a pet. Not a pet, them having children in the vicinity. It's Caelid? No, this is significantly nicer than Caelid, I promise. Like, drastically. One for... No, that's worse. That goes to 26. That goes to 24. Goes to 29. It's only 5 stress if we push through now, though, so we'll push through. The Riki runs up your leg. It's a giant spider thing, and it's got weird tentacles and get it off. The urge to dance around and shake it off is almost uncontrollable, but you manage to keep your cool. The Vriki tastes you with its tentacle feeler legs, but doesn't look interested in causing you harm. It pokes at your backpack, trying to get in, then gives up and scurries off. Was it just hungry? Ooh, I can upgrade pet cards via relaxing in the park. What park? Oh, what, didn't a park open somewhere? Was it like in Geoponics? You say that, but there's a T-Rex dog around the corner. I mean, maybe. I can probably pet it. A line of termite-like creatures crosses the path here. Curious, you follow them to their destination. A massive, sponge-like hive of crawling bugs writhing with life. The bugs are tending to larvae nestled in the holes of the sponge, feeding on the rich royal jelly that oozes from the hive. You step in for a closer look and hear a warning hiss from above. Atop the hive is a queen whatever it is. Wait, no. She is the hive. Wait, this is a squeeger hive. Her abdomen has swollen and lodged in the ground here, rendering her immobile, but not defenseless. The hive queen groans and growls at you, and the air prickles with the burning flavor of acid. She must have some sort of defensive acid spray. That jelly looks pretty edible, though. Alright, we're gonna challenge it. Our stress levels are gonna be through the roof. Termite. This is Grail. I mean, maybe? Value is wild. I forget what that means. Matches as all pairs or straights. I don't have anything for that. 3, 4, 5. Oh, we are definitely gonna have to stress push through this. Lordy. Is this a... No, this is a flush and 2 of a kind. +1 for 2 of a kind. Yeah, this isn't worth... We can't just skip around. Okay. Okay. 3, 6, 5... Okay, switch those around. That's a 5 now. Of course it fucking is. That's a 4, that's a 3. 3, 4... Shit. We don't even have the 55 stress needed. You can fuck off. If I bring you over there and then put you there, we get to 33. I can use these, though. +1 to red physicals. Draw a card. Change a card to a... That's a 7 now. Oh, we are so close. Yeah, we're using these Xeno eggs. Ah! 42. Yes, and we get 10 kudos for it. Hey, Venom, nice to see you. Wonder if I'll get termite incantations. No. I do not want to be dealing with the termites more than is strictly necessary. You get in there and squeeze out some jelly from one of the Hive Queen's many holes, somehow managing not to get sprayed too badly by her acid. Some lands on your arm and the back of your hand and sizzles briefly, but you keep your calm long enough to escape with your bounty. That was very deliberately phrased. Okay, we have way too much stress to be anywhere near the boss event, but that's fine. We can come back next month. A dense cloud of pollen makes it hard to see even your hand in front of your face here. It's a good thing you have a helmet with a filter. It's not perfect, though, and it doesn't help visibility. Well, be patient, look carefully, because I don't want to fall off a cliff and die. The pollen cloud eventually shifts, giving you glimpses of something obstructing the path. It looks like a snapbladder, an infamously territorial predator around these parts. When they're heavily pregnant, they use the pollen fog to pick off their prey. Carefully avoid. You pass through the cloud unharmed, staying out of the reach of the bloated snapbladder. It snicks its snappers in your direction, but is much too heavy with spawn to chase you. I was genuinely worried where that was going. Oh, plants. We'll do this one. You come across a huge field of flowers. Most are teensy pink ones, but some are beautiful big yellow ones. You check the holopedia. Looks like they're a brand new species. They don't even have a name. They need a name like butter dandies, even though they look neither like buttercups or dandelions. Honestly, they kind of look more like spitting cobras than anything. We'll pick one just to take it back and show Utopia. You find the tallest, most perfect yellow flower and leave the rest. No need to be greedy. And now we are 2 banjexed, which is good because we can take a break next month and go back out foraging again. Mid-pollen. Jesus Christies. I'm conserving energy, Dee says from his perch on top of a rock outcrop overlooking the forest. Humans aren't used to going hungry. In the wild, animals die of hunger all the time. It keeps the food web balanced. He rubs his nose. Maybe we're just supposed to die here. That's not so bad if it's what we deserve. We're taking him to therapy. I need 80 bravery to get this child happy to do the dare again. Okay. Well, I guess that's what we're working on next month. Oh wait, the park is in Geoponics, isn't it? Didn't they open a park here? They did, yes. The mood in Geoponics is tense. Everyone is working themselves to the point of exhaustion, trying to get enough plants in the ground to survive the year. And I go for a walk in the park. You and Cal walk through the park, a special place set aside for growing ornamental plants from Earth. It was grown from a precious seed bank, preserved for over 20 years aboard the stratospheric before your mother started planting them here on Vertumna. Almost nothing here is grown for food, though many of them are technically edible. It's so green here, Cal says, stopping to smell a bush of fist-sized red flowers with velvety petals. Wow, they smell so sweet. It's so peaceful. Cal breathes deep, a funny smile on his face. It really is. This is one of my favorite places in the whole colony. You can really feel the love in every plant. One pretty white flower in particular is flourishing here. The Astrantia, your mother's favorite. It seems to be growing faster than even native plants do, covering the paths and bluffs with tiny white stars. You practically have to push clumps of it aside in some places just to make sure you don't crush any. Good thing it's so beautiful. We don't need to forget either of those, I don't think. The unchangeable is pretty handy, actually. Okay. Stress is down, which means it is time to go back to foraging, because we are starving to death. Yay! And yay. Okay, we have more medicinal roots. Back to Tang. See if we can't actually make some friends. Oh, so that's where I'm going? Where am I going? Oh dear. Wonder if the plant growing is keeping others from growing. I don't think so. So we had a food source, but it turns out that they interfere. They bond funny with estrogen and testosterone. So it was making all the teenagers like hyper cranky. And basically they figured if it was happening with the teenagers, it happened with the adults eventually, which is a problem because that was the only food source that we'd managed to consistently get going. Oh, you mean the famine story? Yeah, I'm here now. I don't like it. Oh my god. what do you think of my hair? Mars asks, fiddling with the end of one of the twists. I see you eyeing it. I'm growing it out. She sighs and buries her face in her hands. It's so boring here. I am literally watching my hair grow. Wait, no, I came here to give her a flower. Oh, hey, Cal's got something new to talk about. You want to hear a fun nature fact? You recently overheard the children learning how to count by studying hawkeyes. Hawkeyes have 1 foot, and 2 tail forks, and 3 stomachs, and 4 eyes. And if you see 5 of them together, that's lucky, Cal laughs, finishing with the mnemonic with you. Wait, how did they find out that hawkeyes have 3 stomachs? I don't want to know. It's a good thing Tammy and our uncle died, otherwise you'd have more mouths to feed, you monster. How was I supposed to stop Tammy from getting electrocuted by shitty equipment? How am I supposed... Listen, I was like 12 when Tonin died. You want me to fight off a fucking manticore? I did the correct thing. It just didn't work. Come into my house. Going for help in that situation was the correct response. Where the... Okay. He still refuses to like literally anything I give him. Here, have some herb. Oh! Okay. Wow. Deese is uncharacteristically excited about the roots. They're so colorful. I've never seen roots like these before. What kind of plant are those from? Okay, cool. Hey, Tang, you're gonna have to share. Oh. Tang also wishes to speak. Did we figure out what an enemy likes? Nope. Here, have a rock. Oh. Mars likes it. A pretty rock. An enemy hefts the crystal in her hand. No offense, but what does it do? Should we smash it? This looks like something Mars would like. Yeah. Yeah, most of them have a couple of them. You love games based with different outcomes based on choices. Oh yeah. There's like a shit ton of webbing going on in this one. Tangent is deep in conversation with one of the other scientists. He seems to be consoling her, though Tangent's face betrays no emotion as he claps her on the shoulder and reassures her that she's doing really well for someone so young, and that everyone compromised some of their samples when they were first learning. He leaves and Tangent sighs as she goes to put her head in her hands, stopping short when she realizes she's still wearing gloves. She peels them off and digs her fingers into her eyes. What's up, Tang? Tang grimaces. Just great. Well, I compromised an experiment I was working on because the vent was still open when I was spraying the workstation down with sanitizer. She sniffs. It's so gross in here, she says. I probably did that fungus a favor. Tangent takes a bottle of sanitizer from under her workbench and cleans while she speaks. The pollen spores are everywhere, she whines, and he comes over here and tells me, it'll be okay, Tang, like it's his job to console and patronize me. I hate being patronized too. What's wrong with him being nice? You both sigh in unison. I hate being young, she says bitterly. Why don't they understand that we have higher expectations for ourselves than they do? I need to learn from my own failures. What I don't need, she continues icily, is someone to pat me on the head and tell me it's okay and the adults will make it better. I messed up, she says. Just let me fix it. Don't make a big deal about it like I'm a child with a boo-boo. You hope we have a web displaying at the end, like Until Dawn or Detroit, so you can see what choices did what. I don't think it will have that, but it is for a reason, I think. Because I've read a little bit about it, but... we need to go foraging. And maybe give Mars some rocks at some point. The pitter-patter of tiny feet. Have I spoiled myself on this? Shut the hell up. Listen. Listen, what I see on the internet is not my fault. An event, look. You hear a rustle in the bushes and catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure. Could it be a person? Whatever it is, you quickly lose sight of it in the jungle. You have... No, don't worry about it. Arrow, don't worry about it. Follow the figure! The wilderness is thick here, as is the fog that comes in waves. You'll need to rely on your tracking skills to go further. Why do I have the card for getting my butt kicked? Why do I already have that? Leave me alone. I hate that it doesn't do a reverse. Okay, that's probably the better call for that one. Nice. You're looking for a person, so it's a surprise when you come face to face with a weird-looking creature. It kind of looks like a person, a bit. More like a tree, really. Some relative of the bush bub, maybe, but more tentacles and slime. Like a tree, oozing with gooey sap, with 2 legs. Yuck! It makes a sort of brrrr noise at you as you back away. A bristle slug is rooting around in the underbrush. It's like a little porcupine with no legs. Well, little is relative. It comes up to your waist and it must be at least 100 kilograms. You've seen a few of these up at Geoponics. They're easy to catch, and their spines and berries naturally fall off and are edible. A chewy, renewable source of food. Kind of like jerky. Maybe you could catch this one. Wait, isn't jerky meat? I mean, I guess it's renewable in a way. Try to catch it. Sure. All cars under 2 become 2. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, do we have the 5, 4, 3, 3, 3? That's only 35 stress plus 2. Food source time, yeah. You're pretty sure this one is a female because it has bristles on its butt as well as its head. Her eyes are a deep green. You think you'll call her Emerald. She seems calm in the net, like she isn't too worried about where she might be going. You crouch down with a clump of leaves and she sticks her muzzle through the net and eats them right out of your hand. Her whiskers tickle. You pat her forehead and pack her off to the Geoponics barn. You could go visit her there later if you like. Oh, that's how you unlock something new in Geoponics. Jesus Christ, that took forever. Ooh, okay, the boss event is earlier than... interesting. We have 65 stress, though. Maybe we should come back for that. Do I have... No, I don't. We should probably come back for the boss event. Yeah, it's mid-dust season, so we should be fine to do it. You come across another squeeger hive, an intensely gravid hive queen, and her hundreds of wriggling grubs rooted here just like any other tree. This one seems calm. You're able to approach closely enough to smell the sweet tang of her royal jelly. I want to watch this one. Do it, stress is fine. No, I need it to push through if we don't succeed, and I insist on succeeding because don't worry about it. It's absolutely fascinating. The Squeeter Hive Queen coos to her children, who skitter in and out of the holes on her surface. You can kind of see where her eyes used to be, but now she's more mound than creature. She still breathes, but eats only what she can absorb from her legs, which have become roots. Her larval children pinch her when they're hungry. She groans, clenches, and out of the holes oozes her sweet-smelling jelly. This is not sounding like a food source. This is descriptive. It's a description you didn't need. Yeah, I'm still going to sneak up and nick some for the food source, though. That is a hell of a description. Oh my god. Okay, 6. Son of a bitch. Fine, whatever. Straight on the money. Listen, we gotta eat what we gotta eat. The calm hive queen has only a rudimentary danger sense. Squeeter hives can be very defensive when they sense danger to their young. But so long as you don't set off the workers or the lava, you're free to walk right up to her. You gently avoid hurting any of the babies as you scrape her copious honey into a collector. I wonder what happens when a Squeeter hive queen just fully merges with the ground. You should go home soon? Yeah. Oh, there's a second boss event. Okay. Well, next time we come here, we'll be fully rested, so we can probably do both. Vriki are carnivores, you think, but the juveniles are too small to take out anything larger than an insect. Not so much the case with this one. The Vriki blocking your path is pretty large, probably about as tall as your waist, and it's growling at you over the carcass of something even bigger, which seems to be missing its head. Yuck. These things are carnivores? I have one. Am I going to get eaten by my own pet? You're not sure if it's killed or scavenged the dead animal, but it's dragged it onto the path and looks ready to fight you for it. Why am I fighting this? I could just wait for it to leave. You back off and wait. It sits there and gnaws at the animal slowly for hours. It's disgusting. Eventually, it rolls over and takes a nap, its many legs kicked up in the air and its tummy bulging. You try to sneak past, but it wakes back up with a hiss. It drags the rest of the carcass off into a tree, and you can finally pass. Cool! That was pointless. I didn't even get paid for that, I just got stressed. It's time for... Oh, actually, that was the perfect time to get Max stressed out, because the festival de-stresses us. Oh, except the one time it didn't. It's time for Vertumnalia, the yearly midsummer celebration when the colony gives thanks for its good fortune. Well, it would be, but as you file into the main square, you can't help but notice that the feast table is nearly empty. What Anne lacked in resources, she made up with care. The dishes are lovingly plated. Soy cakes glisten, steam rises from buns stuffed with mince, and there are great pitchers of vegetable broth rendered out from even the most inedible food scraps. There's a neat stack of sugar cubes for dessert. Whole sugar? What a luxury! In an underwhelming feast, that'll be the highlight. Governor Eudicott's welcoming speech this year is short. Her frail body trembles as she welcomes you all to Vertumnalia with a dry, whispery voice, then has to be helped off stage. Like all of you, she has been feeling the effects of the famine. Everyone clears away the chairs for the annual competition. Which one do you participate in this year? Hell no, participation is for joiners. You know what, we've been doing the competition every year and we've not been taking advantage of the reward anyway, so we might as well. You can't imagine anything duller than running around like a little kid or wasting colony resources on a popularity contest. Too much energy to even watch it. In disgust, you leave the festival and head to the walls to sulk in your self-righteousness. You spot Dee sitting on the wall, dangling his feet off the edge as he stares off into the wilderness. Not in the talent show this year? Dee shakes his head. No, he says. I'm done trying to please people. After the festivities, the colony takes a few days off for a break. Well, except for geoponics, and the foragers, and the kitchens, and everyone who uses a break from their usual work to help out in the places that didn't close. Okay, it's not really a break, but you try to take it easy anyway. Yeah, good enough. Now, that said something earlier about you can upgrade the animals by going to the park, but I didn't see an option for that, so I don't fully understand. Okay, new cards in the depot. Bravery. Bravery! That's what we need to buff. We can't really do that by going out far. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Sod it. I am, however, going to go hang out in the park because I want to pull that stress down since we're going to do the 2 boss events at once. Saves me walking. Ooh, but the animal... Oh no, we've maxed out our animals anyway, so it's fine. You play with your Hop-Eye, Mrs. Hoppington, while you hang out in the gardens. They're pretty well behaved, never straying too far into the underbrush and always coming back when you call their name. Another Hop-Eye shyly approaches out of the long grass. Your Hop-Eye goes totally still, then lets out a happy chitter and bounces off to greet the stranger. They touch noses, then hop around each other twice. They disappear for a few minutes into the underbrush, long enough that you begin to get concerned. Finally, Mrs. Hoppington bounces back to you and nuzzles against your leg. They want to be picked up and cuddled, so you pop them under your shirt and carry them like a baby the rest of the way. You play with your Vriki Tiki, hanging out with them just outside the walls. It's uneventful, which is exactly what you needed. You try to teach them some simple commands. Stay, follow, speak. It's adorable watching them tilt their head from side to side when they're trying to figure something out. They don't seem to really get it, but you get the impression they're trying. You quickly realize the Vriki must be named after the sound they make when they're happy, a whirring, clicking noise. For a weird spider tentacle creature, it's really cute. I still have the memory of winning the bot competition one year. In fairness, we did that a couple of years in a row, I think. It's probably a good thing we didn't do it this year, because I think if we'd continued to win that bot competition, Tang might have just started, like, putting hits on us. Too soon to give her another gift, which probably applies to everybody now. Hold up, Tang. Okay, now. Right, back out we go. Into the wilds. That is to say, the same wilds that we always go to. 7 events, 3 collectibles. What are you looking at? 9 events, 6 collectibles. 11 events. Okay, well, we want to do the boss events because they're the story ones, I believe. It's just a long run all the way back now. Actually, now that we have the perk that lets us just run past the path blockers, we don't... I feel like we'd benefit from running straight to the end and doing the boss events. Hi! Oh, that's mine. How did you teleport? That's terrifying. And just doing the boss events, because... What the fuck is on my arm? Oh, it's a pattern from the hot water bottle cover. Jesus Christ, it looks like I have some sort of space disease. Oh, bopper fruits for Cal. You're alone, exploring an unmapped area of the Valley of Vertigo. The pollen is thick here, and your air filter is overworked. A warning light has been flashing orange for the last 10 minutes. But there are plants here that you've never seen before. Flowers with intense rainbow hues and strange lumps of fungal matter which pulse as if they're breathing. You cut some samples. Utopia will totally give you extra kudos for these. The pollen is especially thick up ahead, deep fuchsia and shimmering with colour. Everything here seems to dance with tiny flecks of reflected light. It's kind of magical. Can opening? Shh. I can't prove it. You push forward into the suffocating pink fog. It's so thick you can only see a few meters ahead. You follow the glimmering towards where it's densest. You come upon a glade filled with what seem to be strange topiaries. They loom out of the glittering fog, each in the shape of an animal. They're all formed from the same spongy, glittering pink substance and dotted with finger-length fungal growths. You're so distracted that you almost fall into a hole in the center of the glade. Look for danger. You've seen plant-like animals before. Are these topiaries actually predators waiting for you to get close? You watch them carefully from the edge of the glade. They're completely still, not breathing. There are no life signs. Good. Your Enviro suit beeps a warning. Take a sample before that goes off. As you bend down to take a sample, you realize that the dense, shining haze is coming from the topiaries. The fog is seeping out of holes at the end of each fungal growth. You break off a few of the growths into a collection vial. You remember helping Tang with extra credit in biology class. She said that the shimmer, the seasonal illness that affects your dad in pollen, is some kind of colonizing fungal growth. Could this be related? Your Enviro suit beeps a louder warning. Cool! Is it one of those parasiting pollens that those aren't topiaries, are they? Those used to be animals, aren't they? Cool. You know what? We may as well confirm that if we can. Cool, I was right. I hate that. The topiary you choose is a large dog-sized quadruped which appears to be kneeling. It's far too lifelike. As you get close, you realize with growing revulsion that this was once a living creature, now encased or transformed entirely into the pink, sparkling fungus. It's dead. The more you think about it, the more you're sure this is related to the shimmer. We're going in the hole. Time to run. Oh, no, my dad is shiny patches on his skin from the shimmer. We're going in the fucking hole. At the bottom of the hole is a cave. It slopes down gradually towards the cave floor, only about 4 meters below, then disappears underground. You aren't sure how far the cave continues past that point. It's dark down there, obviously, but not silent. I don't like that my Enviro suit didn't beep last time. There's some kind of strange rhythmic whirring coming from farther inside the cave. You hold up your palm and shine your hollow palm's light. The cave floor glitters with pink fungus, and the air is ominously choked with it. Yeah, fuck it, we're going exploring. I'm about to have the shimmer, yeah. You climb your way down the gentle slope toward the cave. The thick, shimmering pollen makes it hard to see further than your hand. You see 3 glowing vats set into the floor like neon hot tubes, and an old-fashioned mechanical interface set into the cave wall. The reflecting glow from the vats flickers on the cave ceiling, ghost-like and beautiful. You feel a strong urge to take off your mask and stay a while. Okay, now we're running. We're gonna run because I don't think I can get anything out of the interface. As you turn to leave, your filter light begins flashing red and an alarm sounds inside your helmet. You realize with horror that you've been in the dense pollen too long. You start sneezing as the sparkling dust seeps into your breathing mask. It feels like tiny knives in your sinuses and a heavy, choking pain in your lungs. You lurch backwards towards the checkpoint, barely able to breathe. Your helmet is so clogged that you don't think air is getting in at all. You can see it clearly, as if seeing a vision. If you take your mask off, surely you'll be able to breathe better. Something in your terrified brain clings to this idea. If you just take off your mask and breathe in the pollen, you'll be fine. Everything will be fine. No, don't go gently into that pink night. You're hyperventilating. You can't get enough oxygen through your clogged filter. Darkness closes in from the edges of your vision until you're seeing the world as if through a long tunnel. As you near the checkpoint, Utopia runs out to help you. You instinctively turn back, unthinking, wanting to return to the fog, to those strange statues. You collapse in her arms. Several days later, you wake. You don't remember much, just a great choking heaviness in your lungs, and the world swallowing you up and closing over your head. You have snippets of conscious thought from the last few days, but it's hard to tell if it was a dream or not. You remember Tammy sitting by your bedside, her cool hand on your forehead. But she's dead. That part must have been a dream. It feels like you had a fever once. Hot and sticky, achy all over like you've been boiled alive. You're still terribly weak, and there's a pain in your chest, like someone has been sitting on it. It takes all of your energy just to breathe. You live, but your body took a serious hit, and may never be quite the same. I gonna say, kind of worth it for the lore purposes, at least. Like, we learned a lot. I don't like that there was mechanical equipment involved in that. Sus as hell. Dees is curiously studying a small, bleached white animal skull. Look at this, he says, holds it out to you. There's mushrooms growing in this one. I didn't know the fungus could grow on bone. It's kind of like everything on this planet was designed to work together. He throws the skull back into the wilderness. Well, except us. Have we figured out... He likes rocks, right? Shit, hold on. No, he likes roots. For some fucking reason. Nerd. You like these. The bobber fruits. Oh, they're edible. That helps. I think we just made him our best friend. By giving him food during a famine. Right, no. We're gonna help Dad with the animals? Your dad is looking a little gaunt. There wasn't a lot of weight on him to lose in the first place, so the rationing is hitting him harder than most. He's still hard at work, though. Nothing can keep your dad from getting things done. Your dad is running some kind of test on the trippets. He's playing different chords and trying to see if they have language, or are just making instinctive animal calls. You help him by holding up random objects, and trying to determine if their sounds map to any understanding of what they're seeing. They're either saying, kill all humans, or linguini sports ball, your dad says, staring at the readout on his hollow palm. I just can't be sure. Okay, maybe hanging out in the shimmer cloud after our suit stopped beeping was a bad idea, but we learned a lot, and maybe we can help Tang. Never mind. I see no indication of her actually... Oh, God damn it. I hope you find it useful. Seriously? I can't just give Tang the supplies? Oh, in fairness, maybe I needed to not pass out for that. Still, we have another boss event to do. Oh, I'm stressed as all get it. I'm injured. Cool. Hate that. Heal by relaxing? Fine. It's raining, we're going indoors. You're relaxing after hours when Aunt Anne pops her head into the lounge. The kitchen, she announces in an artificially sweet voice, is looking for someone to help with part-time cooking duties. Someone young, someone responsible, someone organized. Someone, she says, staring pointedly at the teens in the room, who might have too much free time on their hands. I can't even volunteer. Avoid eye contact. Sweating away over humid food nanoprinters really isn't your thing, so you hang back. Aunt Anne sighs and rubs her hands on her apron. Well, if anyone changes their mind, I could use the help. You don't think you can help unless you went deeper? I didn't get any cards or that from it. It did say I picked up a fungal, a vial. I suspect because I was there too long, I may have dropped it or lost it. I think that would have been done strictly by a story, probably by giving it to Utopia or something. My guess would be they wouldn't give it to you until the end, considering how easy it is to fucking bait you into staying. Which, okay, fair. Okay. Straight back to where we almost died. I don't know, it just... It felt like that was important. Because that's the same thing our dad's been getting. And he is now growing shiny patches, which... Okay, there's definitely something wrong with that arm. I'm just gonna move the hot water bottle, because that's actually a concerning pattern. Don't forget to forage. That's what I'm doing! I'm foraging! There are no events down here, though. Okay, that's the next boss event. My best guess would be if you want to learn some key shit about that area, you probably have to go like straight down the hole and burn through your allowances, basically. Can I redo that? Wait, can I redo that? No, we'll do the other one first, and then we'll come back and see if we can redo that one. I doubt we can. By heading ASAP to where I almost died. Oh, definitely important. Kind of seems like it was man-made. That was 100% man-made. Like, we crash landed on this planet through a black hole, but that was 100% man-made. I'm pretty sure we saw someone that we didn't recognize watching us, like, 2 years ago when we were sneaking out and hanging out in the area just outside the colony as well. Like, there are people here. Even one of the descriptions of one of the areas says that it has ruins in it. What are we gonna notice? The biodiversity or the soil? I think probably the biodiversity is better for... We'll be able to do more with the soil, I think. Did I not read that yet? No, I didn't. You spent your time working in geoponics, so you know your way around a plant or two. Walking through this area, you notice something different about it. The bare ground feels bouncy like a trampoline, and the plants all look weirdly stunted. Not a lot can stifle nature here, so it's honestly a little weird that there's no grasses or mosses growing here. Notice the strange, spongy soil. You peer down at this oddly bouncy ground. It's pink and fleshy and... Wait, is it even ground? You kneel and take a closer look. Oh, for the love of God. More like a dense moss or coral, maybe. You press a hand into the moist, squashy substance. It smells sweet and starchy like cake. It blankets the ground here in a thick sponge-like layer, swallowing up everything it touches. Gross. But it smells so good. Oh dear. You dig a large chunk of the sponge cake up to bring back to geoponics. Further analysis is needed, but you have a good feeling about this one. I don't. There was some descriptors in there I did not like. I feel like we've just accidentally fed geoponics shimmer goo. You've reached the end of this area. Keep exploring. Okay, yeah, they don't let you do it twice. Boo. You decide to take a shortcut through the jungle to a path you're sure was just up ahead, and now you're lost. Everything looks the same here. The plants are too high to see any landmarks, and you swear some of them move around when you aren't looking. You try to check your positioning with your hollow palm, but the damn thing isn't working and won't connect to long-range communications either. Typical. Utopia did warn you the comms were flaky out here. You think you can tell north from the position of the two suns, but that's it. Let's orienteer our way out of here. I wonder if we should go back and see the events in the other place and see if we can get some more info out of those, if we missed anything. You climb a tree and chart a path through the wilderness from above. With that information in your hollow palm, navigating to the nearest landmark is a breeze. Yeah, well, that was easy. Alright, we're heading home. We've burned through the best and the worst of it. Well, we've burned through the boss events, and I want to get some more stats up over here. Also, I feel like we should probably raise combat, because the glow's about to come back round. We're in danger. Why is it sports ball? Why is playing a sport raise your bravery more than defense training or lookout duty? Like, is it just because an enemy is that competitive? You're playing sports ball with Cal, Nem, Nugget, and Nuga, and a few other kids. Nem's team is absolutely destroying yours because Cal keeps letting in goals. You'd chalk it up to a lack of skill, but you've seen Cal in drills. He's a really good goalie when it's just him versus himself. That's why you picked him. Wait, what? How are you a goalie when it's you versus yourself? What? I'm not gonna ask. Nem likes winning at first, but after a few innings, she gets frustrated and stomps over to Cal. It's no fun if you're not trying, she shouts, waving her hands. What's wrong with you? Cal just shrugs, and Nem puffs up her cheeks. Are you going easy on me because we're friends? That's not fair. You gotta do your best. But I'd rather have fun than win, Cal says, shoving his hands in his pockets. I don't mind when other people win. I like it when my friends are happy. People pleaser. I'm not happy, Nem stomps. I'm mad. How can I show off how good I am if you're just letting me win? They keep fighting, and everyone on both teams looks at each other awkwardly, wondering if you should keep playing. Bored with the stay of the game, Nugao grabs the ball and starts bouncing it on her head. Anteater, she giggles. Bushbub, camel, dwarf's moth. She says a new animal every time it bounces and making her way through the alphabet. I'm siding with the child. I do not know how to pronounce nougat. Nugget? It's not nugget, I don't think. Is it nougat? Nougat? I can't believe this is the thing that's tripping me. I can pronounce hydroponics. I can pronounce... I've forgotten her name. Congruence, but I can't... Nougat. Yeah, like the food, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce the food. I've just been, like, if I buy it somewhere, well, I don't. The Irish stuff is garbage, but when we were in Tunisia, I used to just, like, point at it. Or if it was, like, that kind of one, or I just grab a bar or something. Nougat. Okay. Side with Nougat. Nougat is right. Why argue about one game when you can just make up another one that people are happy about? You alternate letters with Nougat, until eventually everyone is playing except for Cal and Nem. They look over and see everyone having fun without them. They look embarrassed as they jog over to join in the new game. Ha! Yes! Bonus friendship points for de-arming them. I think there's not... As all pairs are straights. I don't know if that one does anything. Oh, I think that only does it if you do it with the yellows. 23, 26. Sure. Oh, wait, no, I need 28. Hold on. Oh, sod off. +2 bonus to pairs, specifically. Oh, we can hit 28. Perfect. It's been 3 seasons of heavy food rationing, getting more and more strict as the year dragged on and the fields continued to struggle. You've been wasting away. You all have. It's not just the lack of calories. There just aren't enough vitamins and good stuff in the food you are eating. Your muscles ache all the time. Sometimes you feel strangely euphoric, filled with inexplicable energy, but often it feels like there are weights tied to your shoulders, pulling you down. You're tougher than most, but you still have trouble sleeping despite being tired all the time. You spend the whole day in a dazed fog. Hard to tell dreams from reality, or at least hard to feel the hunger now. No, it's hard to tell dreams from reality. Last week, you were brushing your teeth. Oh, no, not teeth horror. No. Sure, they warn you for the child death, but not this. Last week, you were brushing your teeth when you noticed that some of your teeth were wiggling. You brushed and watched all of your teeth begin to fall out of your mouth, clinking into the sink like pebbles and washing down the drain. I'm having some nightmares tonight. Horrified, you started screaming, only to snap out of it and realize you'd been staring at yourself in the mirror the whole time, lost in a hallucination. Your friends stop working and retreat to their quarters. You lie to each other on the HoloNet, all saying you're okay, just taking it easy, waiting for the harvest. Well, the harvest came and went, as meager as ever. Your mother still hasn't given up and never rests, never stops working as much as your dad begs her to. She must be sleeping in geoponics because you hardly see her in the family quarters anymore. From where you lie nestled in bed in your cozy fuge, it all seems like far, far too much effort to bother with. And you're still gonna strap your boots on and go help her, because lying there won't stop you all from starving to death. You're out in the fields with her, being her sidekick, helping fetch things. She never slows down. When the robo-plow finally breaks under the pressure, she doesn't. She's out there even longer, doing everything by hand. Both your parents feel responsible for this famine, but as head of geoponics, your mom takes it personally. She's been skipping meals, relying on water and pressed soy bar rations, just enough calories to keep a body moving, but not enough to stay healthy. Yet she never lets up working herself to the bone, barely even sleeping, increasingly sallow-eyed and gaunt. You and your dad try to slow her down, but, well, she's a stubborn woman. If not her, she says, then who? You and your dad are in the lounge, slowly sipping your vegetable broth when there's a commotion at the doors. Someone's run in, gasping for breath, yelling for you and your father to come to geoponics. You run over, knowing deep in the pit of your stomach that something terrible has happened. When you see the faces of the agriculturists, your mom's people, you know that feeling is real. Your dad sees her body first. He lets out a cry like something you've never heard before, a deep, unimaginable pain, dragged out from the darkest parts of where fear lives. Didn't need a cutscene for that one, babes. Your dad falls to his knees beside the frail body of your mother. He pulls her into his arms and sobs, wretched and agonizing. You don't know what to think. Your mom always seemed larger than her body, but seeing her now, there's nothing there. Just a fragile shell. They tell you she didn't even cry out. She just went to her knees and then lay down in the dirt, and that was it. She's gone. Your mother's body is taken to the incinerator room, and that night the colony gathers to pay their respects. Do you join them? Sure. Like Tammy's funeral, the incinerator room has been cleared and a wreath of flowers placed over the mouth of the organics recycler. They're white astrantia, your mother's favourite flower, carefully carried from Earth with the hopes of it flourishing on Vertumna, just like you. You stand with your father and Aunt Anne. Udicott and the rest of the council are here as well, including Rhett. You're surprised to see tears rolling down his face. He's such a hard ass in the garrison. Cal is here with all the other agriculturists. The rest of the colony waits in the canteen to offer their condolences after the service. Governor Udicott gives the eulogy. As a colony, we share our blessings, she begins solemnly. However, today, in sad company, we gather to share the burden of our grief. Fluorescent was born on Earth, but she more than many of us exemplified the spirit of our endeavor to bring life to beyond the stars. She bore life, not only in her body, but bringing it forth from the ground she so faithfully attended. The debt we owe to her is the kind that can never be repaid, she continues. It is with a deep and unbearable grief that we must continue on without her, in awe and respect for her sacrifice, the depth of which was never expected of her, but which she did not expect of anyone else. It is on her strong shoulders that she carries us still. Udicott closes the door to the recycler, and the particle disintegrators begin to reclaim the molecules that once formed your mother. Your father squeezes your shoulder, making a small, choked-off noise of pain. As a community, we remember Fluorescent. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, her sacrifice is recognized in the manifest body of the colony. The ceremony is adjourned to the canteen, where a somber wake is held in your mother's memory. There isn't enough food to dull the emotions, and your empty stomach only reminds you of her unfinished work. Your father is the new head of geoponics. In a few hours, he receives your mother's remains so that he can add them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. You touch the cool lid of the container, marveling that your mother could fit in such a small box. You don't have to be okay, your dad says quietly. His voice is thick with emotion. I know I'm not. I have to keep going where she left off, but if you can, you should take some time off. I don't have a choice. My stress is 100. But yes, That's probably a good call. The prospect of going back to work like everything is normal is too much to handle. The sun dips below the horizon and glow begins. You end up spending the whole month alternating between sleeping, scrolling the HoloNet, and staring into space. It's restful, at least. A few days after the funeral, surveyors return with an unexpected bounty from the Valley of Vertigo. It's enough to survive for another month, until the new year maybe, if you keep rationing. The colony will continue to limp along, but without your mother. The roar wakes you. It would wake the dead. It shakes the walls, rumbles through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Through your porthole window, you hear metal screeching and people shouting. Then another roar, guttural and rumbling like the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. Sure, run out to face it. We've been making bad choices the entire time. You don't know what gives you the courage, but you run out to the fields to face the horrible creature face to... Oh, fucking hell. I mean, that's a thing, alright? It has no face. That's, I mean, I could definitely... Sure. In place of a face, or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing a mass of writhing pink tentacles and blinking eyes, pocked with jagged asymmetrical teeth. It stands on 4 enormously powerful legs, each as wide across as tree trunks. Clinging to its back and its thick, slug-like tail are clumps of lichen that glow faintly in the night. The creature is nearly twice the height of a greenhouse. It's standing on top of a flattened one, the wreckage of lattice and plants all around. Flickers of lights from the plas rifles and stun gloves light it from underneath, and the stench of ozone is thick in the air. You see Nem and her brother Calm darting in and around its legs with their twin shocks of red hair. The faceless creature lurches into another greenhouse, oblivious to the soldiers trying to herd it away. They're so tiny. The monster left a trail of destruction from where it smashed right through the walls. Smaller creatures are pouring in through the gap and they're heading straight to command. You watch helplessly as hordes of animals storm command, sneaking through torn away panels and smashing through windows. It's too far away to hear the screams, but Governor Udicott is inside. You have to do something. I mean... Do you remember the saying from Mass Effect about the cold calculus of war? Yeah, Udicott's already dying. Let's go save Nem and Calm. You run towards Geoponics, picking up a handful of rocks as you cross through the barren fields. When Calm sees you, he gestures for you to flee. "Get out of here, Solana," he says. "You're gonna get yourself killed." You grip your rocks in defiance. You're sick of being told to hide like a child. You want to help. By the way, Ingrid, it looks like you're right. Grandma Governor is next. And we're pushing through with the stress because I don't want to fucking die. You try your hardest, but even with the full force of the defense squad, you can barely keep it contained near the farms. You dart in and around the battle, throwing rocks and making noise to keep the abomination's attention away from the rest of the colony. Its tentacles whip around, slapping the ground and knocking into people, picking them up and throwing their helpless bodies like dolls, only to be crushed under its massive trunk-like feet. The fields are littered with bodies of the fallen. Sweat stings your eyes, but you somehow stay on your feet. Others aren't so lucky. "Solana, watch out!" Calm cries out, and you look up just in time to dodge the wet slap of a tentacle, tripping over a body and sprawling to the dirt yourself. The Faceless makes a horrible noise from deep inside its craw, flecking you with spittle as your guts liquefy from the near miss. You're close enough to feel the sick heat radiating off it. It doesn't have a face, but you realize with horror that it sees you. Zzz. The beam of a plas rifle arcs over your head, and the Faceless roars again and turns its terrible attention to Calm. You scream and uselessly cover your head as it lumbers over you. As you scramble to your feet, you see Calm go flying through the air. He lands a few meters away with a sickeningly wet crunch. Nem cries in horror as she runs to Calm's side, but it's too late. His body is bent at an unnatural angle, his eyes open and his face frozen in stupefied terror. He looks unreal, like a wax mannequin. He's just gone, like that. Nem lets out a primal scream of pain, and you can see the thoughts ignite in her mind, contorting her face with ugly fury as she stands up to launch herself at the Faceless again. You grab her arm, and she yells at you in wordless rage before collapsing to her knees, throwing her body over Calm's and sobbing like the scared teenager she is. You can only stand and watch. You hear a colossal cracking noise, and look up to see the Faceless stumble towards the stratospheric. With a roar that shakes your very molecules, it loses its balance for the last time and falls onto the ship. Metal screams as the ship buckles and gives way. Whole pieces of the quarter's wing shear off as your home opens like a tin can, spilling its contents into the square. The strato lurches, then collapses under the creature's weight. The abomination is slain, but as wails of grief join the whimpers of the dying, you have to wonder, at what cost? The council calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the oppressive gloom of Glow, you gather near engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpse of the Faceless still sits in the caved-in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. Can't forget what you saw. Your mind keeps replaying that terrible moment, the Faceless rearing up and obscuring the sky. Nem and her brother looking so small before it. Governor Udicott was killed by the smaller creatures that swarmed the command during the attack. In her absence, Seek addresses the colony. The council acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism in finally taking down the Faceless. Geoponics is gone. The greenhouses destroyed and fields trampled. After a year of suffering, starving, and only barely scraping by, you're not just back to where you started. It's even worse. Everything your mom sacrificed herself for, gone in one night. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the creche. It's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck that people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Seek solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives. Too many, including Governor Udicott. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Nem and her family cry out when her brother Calm's name is called, and their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. With the living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into a classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all still so shaken. Nem cries about her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually, you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. You feel like you've been awake for days and you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep jerking awake, crying in fear. Eventually, you fall asleep sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. Cool! Hate that! So who have we lost now? We've lost Tammy, Tonin, Calm, Udicott, my mother, and there's someone else in the middle. there was someone who was named in the middle. Oh, Professor Hal. Cool. 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 I hate that. It's fine. I've only got like 6. Hey. Not all of this is my fault, okay? I didn't cause a famine. I didn't electrocute Tammy. I didn't organize a regular, like a season of violent assault on the colony. I almost didn't remember. Listen, you're right. I barely went to class. I only had Professor Hal like twice. You may not have caused it, but I certainly didn't help against it. Listen, I'm trying my best. I'm 14 in this. Leave me alone. What are my options here? I didn't help against the famine. I've been out there fucking foraging for shit. Every time I find some weird food, I'm scooping it up for whatever. 14-year-old needs a bigger gun. No. Yeah. Do not give a child a gun, please. Oh, that is heartbreaking to see. The only thing standing is the science building, and honestly, we should probably be glad that that's still standing. My mom died because I was playing sports ball rather than finding more food. The fuck? I was out there foraging like almost every day. Don't you come for me. I can't even go outside. Fucking hell. Okay. Thanks, Dees. That was super helpful. Oh, you're so traumatized. Play sports ball once and you get judged. Okay, we're not talking to our father because we're both deeply traumatized. And enemy's just MIA. Tangent's trying to figure out what the fuck keeps going wrong with this place. Mars is having a shop-induced crisis. For the love of God, Mars. This game is like looking at Radon's horse 24/7, just sad. I mean, yeah. In fairness, as Arrow has already guessed, I do know some secrets. So I do have a... Like, it has not successfully crushed my soul. So we will be continuing. Not tonight because it is 9 o'clock and I have phone calls and food and stuff that I need to do, but don't worry, Arrow, it stays on the rotation, even if it is incredibly depressing and mildly traumatizing to deal with. Anyway, it's always nice to see you guys. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you around, but I am going to call things here because, again, I do indeed have stuff to do. And I'll be real with you, all I've eaten today is a slice of ham and a packet of noodles. So, yeah. You're sure it's fine? You're sure it'll get a good end? Listen. No comment. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to no comment that one. Right, I'm heading off. Because I do actually need to eat something slightly more than this. Let me check let me see who's up and running, see if we can't fire you guys at somebody. Some poor innocent, who is up and running? We've got, Shin's up. Shin's doing Final Fantasy 15. Good news, guys, I'm gonna fire you at Shin, okay? Play nice. Especially you, Arrow. I see Arrow snuck out while I wasn't looking. Oh, no. Ingrid snuck out while I don't even know anymore. Twitch is lying to me again. What do you mean never? Play nice. Right. It's always good to see you guys. Like I said, I look forward to seeing you guys around. I hope you have a great week. Bye!